Anything else? Not, I need a motion to approve. So moved.
Second.
Anderson, all right, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And the minutes.
So moved to approve.
I got a motion to approve. It says minutes. There should be two sets. Special call meeting, I believe, should be some minutes in here. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. For no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. E911 expenditures.
Good morning.
Morning.
The 911 expenditures for the month of January 2024 totaled $30,857.32.
So moved to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And second. For no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, from our previous meeting, our proclamation for a local emergency from the winter weather event that began on January the 14th. Y'all approved the DR3. There was an error in one of the date fields. I have corrected that. So I have brought this back to get all the signatures on it. And Ms. Bernadine, when you get done with everybody's signatures,
All right, we had voted on it and approved it in previous meetings. I thought everybody had signed it. Pass it around. That's the sheet that everybody signed. It's gonna be declared emergency. Anything else, David?
yes, sir. The last item I have is reimbursement for our fiscal year 2023 Emergency Management Performance Grant. We received reimbursement totaling $37,851.64.
All right, any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
And there are no questions. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
County engineer,
Thank you.
how you doing, Ms. Anderson?
Good morning.
Morning.
Washington County Engineering, you can see the list of bridges. We are working on the SAP paving project. That's Roystower Road, Old Leland Road, Stoneville Road, and Old Highway 61. We rode with the contractor over the roads, and we had to adjust some of the south cutting and leveling. It was a wash with no additional cost. But they are expected to work this month, starting with the south cutting. And they did state they're gonna start on on Old Highway 61 between Harlandale and Arcola. Fur Road, you can see the picture, removing the lawn. They poured the diaphragm Friday, so that's all that we have.
What about your, the roof at the convention center? Where were we at on that? I know you had the contract, we had the contract signed.
Yeah, they, we had to send the contract back because of, the notary for the, I think that was last, I'm sorry, that was last week. So, he's starting this month.
Okay, good. All right.
They didn't notarize on their side.
Okay.
Any other questions, Mr. Anderson? Ms. Anderson, just for the board's information, we received the notification of our state aid award for this term. And I think a total of $9 million, Ms. Carter? $9 million. And, I think out of last year, Ms. Anderson, was 230,000, something that may not have been committed.
Yeah, that was for the, SAP.
Yeah, but, so what we've got to do is actually get some work done. $9 million, that's twice the amount of money that we've been able to get in the past. And what concerns me is still, after these years, I don't have a bad road on the list to be done. I'm going to ask the board for permission to put out a request for proposal for an engineering service to help with designs and everything else, getting ready to do Broadway extended from the Greenville city limits to the airport entrance.
The board has already, if I may,
Yeah, please.
the board already, authorized us to do that. And then it was halted by your request from the time that we did Broadway from the airport to Winterville Basilla, and then last year it was added about the Broadway, and it was never part of the direction if we want to do it or not.
All right, we've been talking about Broadway from the city limits to the airport for the last 4 years. What I simply need now from this board is a vote to put out a request for proposals for an engineering service to give us the help we need on this project. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor of the request for proposal to redo Broadway, extend it to the airport through this new round of funding? Show your support by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. I got one nay. Motion carries, and we'll move forward with that. Anything else, Mr. Anderson?
Okay. But we have to talk about services rendered already for that, so, I mean,
We don't have any design work you turned in or anything, and this was on the 4 years.
we had time to that, so we'll just talk about it.
But we'll talk about it, but, you know, we pay you every month to be our engineer, but go ahead.
All right. That's it. That's all I had.
Okay, road manager.
Morning.
I have a few things. First thing I have is, two quotes on a distributor truck, the asphalt truck. First quote is Mid-South Machinery for $12,079.65. And the second quote is, C&M Services for $12,793.55. I'd rather go Mid-South being the cheaper.
So moved. And that's the repairs on it?
Yeah, repair.
Okay.
The front pump went out.
Yeah. So moved.
I got a motion.
For the lowest
And I got a
bid.
second for the lowest bid.
Yep.
All in
Quote,
favor?
I'm sorry, quote,
Lowest
lowest quote, yeah.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, I'd like to get it approved, for the replacement of 4 new employees.
You already got the slots in place?
Yes.
You're just replacing-
It's just replacement.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
So moved.
And,
Second.
Got a motion and a second to fill already current slots. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else?
yes, need to get it board approved to advertise for that last garbage truck, the side load,
Last what?
the garbage truck, the side load
Garbage truck,
garbage truck, yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Where do we stand with the drag line and the bridge work? Southbound?
If we had 2 good weeks of solid running, we'd be through. We're putting it together. We're assembling it. Yeah, we did a little bit last week and the wetness, and we put rocks down trying to help, but this right here held us off a few more days, so.
Arthur is making, there's a request to put culverts in Black Bayou right off. Ms. Perry.
I talked to the engineer, he's, Miranda was saying it'll be about $230,000 if we put pipe in, right?
Yeah, it was, I did it a while ago. It was around 7, 8 pipes. It's not a small creek, so.
No. This one.
It was around 200,000, so, that was temporary. I don't know, talking to the Drainage Commission, we didn't go that far because there was so many pipes. The bridge needed to be replaced, so maybe that's something we put on the new funding that we have for the LSVP.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk to everyone about the LSVP, as far as, I know we had more projects than we had money last time, so we did 9 million. We'll get a list of all the districts, and pretty sure Hunter Point will be on there, because, it's going over the levy, so.
Okay, but right now, if we don't do the culverts, we're hoping that the bridge crew with the new drag line will come in and actually build this bridge in-house. Now it's just a matter of economics and does it make sense to put the culverts in, which I'm hearing it's not, and we'll wait to put the bridge in. The only problem is, there's another growth season and there's land that's farmed on the west side of this bridge, and they won't have access again this season. Am I right?
Right.
So we're gonna have to take a close look at that, see what the overall impact is. But we'll talk, and if it's feasible, we'll come back to the board and
Yeah, is that bridge, y'all can, now, we talking about a repair on that bridge or building a new bridge?
Do a new one.
Okay. Do y'all have the capability of doing that? Is it,
We can. It's a little longer process, cause we have to dam both sides off, cause the
Okay.
water sits there year round, but
Okay.
we can do it.
okay. All right,
Any other questions?
I do, not about that, another
Okay.
issue.
Anything else y'all wanna share about? Any of that?
One more thing, we talked about in the last board meeting about the long boom and the dozer.
yeah, I was gonna update everybody. I did make contact with the Drainage Commission, and they can sell it to us, and they're coming up with a price on the dozer and the long boom. So they are supposed to be, matter of fact, I expect something this week, on that. So,
Ms. Brooks?
Yes, I have two issues. During this summer, I had a farmer, the Smythes, they have a situation where they needed a new culvert. It was a culvert there, but it was something wrong with it. So they're doing a application with NRCS to fill up their side with dirt, and gonna do the county at the same time. I had Mr. Perry to come out and look at it. He said he didn't see a problem with it, but they do need a letter that we are approving them to put dirt on the county part along with their part. So I wanna know if I'd like to get the letter approved.
Everything look good on our end? Yeah, okay.
Got a motion? Right, Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
To
Second.
approve, and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yes, just a little here. Also, I talked with, Mr. Perry and also Mr. Johnson, and I don't know if he reached out to any other board members, but we have a welder, from my understanding, that does exceptionally good work. And, Mr. Perry, you say, you know, he's a good welder, and the concern is it's hard to find welders. And this gentleman is asking for a 50-cent raise. He's making $16.50 right now. And really, we underpaying our people. And I'd like to see the board keep this man, or keep both our welders. Because if we do, we would have to outsource the work. And if we outsource the work, it don't come to you right then and there. And I would just like to see our board really consider giving our two welders a 50-cent raise.
Any comments, questions, concerns?
Only thing, I'd just like that to go back to the committee and let them just look at it, and not only that, look at, because, if anybody's out of line with that and able to retain some of these people, and, but before we vote on it, I'd like for it to go back to committee.
I have no
Which
problem.
committee? Which committee?
Finance Committee, yeah.
You all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Outstanding.
I just want to put it on
Oh,
now
gotcha,
that we have
gotcha.
conversation on it.
yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right. Ms. Perry, out on Winnebago Solar Road, where you put the culvert in, where you had a washout,
Right.
about 50, maybe less than 500 feet away from there, there's another washout, where there's a pipe coming out of the field. It's on the north side, but it's going away pretty quick, so you might need to take a look at that today. Fill it in, rip wrap, something like that. If there's nothing else,
We got a bridge closure, another bridge closure too. On, what's it called? VFW Road. Yeah, the freight bridge off of Old 61
which bridge?
on VFW.
First bridge west of Old 61 on VFW.
Yeah.
What's the repairs? Gonna be down for, what's the plan, once you
Well,
get?
we plan on getting with the engineer, we got on that same ditch, we already got a pipe already in, on that same run. So we're gonna get with the
Get Mike,
engineer and see if we
get
can
his,
put another
contract
pipe on that
corrected.
same ditch, cause there's already one on the other end.
There's some minor
If we
stuff that
could-
need to
we
be,
could do that,
but I
that's a
can
quick
take care
fix,
of that
we have
locally.
it did in
Okay.
If y'all get
2 or 3
approved.
days.
Okay.
After they start working.
But we gotta get with
But
the
if you want to do
drainage
it, you need to
committee,
make
see
an
what that
annual
is.
contract.
Right.
They had the board approved.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
That's all.
That's it. All
Hey.
we have.
Appreciate y'all.
I looked at it this morning.
Mr. President,
Ms.
I'd like
Hayes.
to add item to the agenda. Government affairs and, what's the other thing? Resolution from Washington County to request money from the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
So moved.
Got a motion, I need a second.
Try add,
Motion, yeah, it's an addition.
Second.
All right. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Redmond?
Morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Roy.
How are you all this morning?
Good, how about yourself?
All right, I'm giving the report for the number of permits issued for the fiscal year to date is 50, and the monies collected from fiscal year to date is $8,234.
Okay. Motion?
So moved.
And a second.
And we have one.
Motion and second. All in, that's to accept. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. I'm sorry.
We have, Mr. Johnson wants to speak with you.
Okay.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
We have a right-of-way permit that we're asking the Board to approve contingent upon them giving us the addendum to what they're asking for. We've had several companies come into the office proposing to do those solar farms. And this particular company, Industrial Energy Partners, is proposing to go along Treadway Road about 1,600 feet, but it's a creek in the vicinity of the creek that they're gonna have to dig below because it's a oil pipeline that's running underneath the creek. So they're gonna have to go about 25 feet beneath that creek. So they did not include the depth of how deep they gotta dig, but they did have the length, which is 1,600 feet, but the 25 feet is not indicated on the scope of work. So the gentleman is going to email us the addendum, and we're asking that you approve it. It's been approved by the board, the road manager and the engineer, provided that we get the information that he's gonna send us.
I have a question.
Yes.
All right, you don't have the depth environment, and how that affect that area since it's near a creek?
Well, it's already a oil pipeline that's running underneath the creek anyway. And what they're gonna do is go underneath the pipeline.
That's what I'm saying, environmentally, how it affect if it's going under the pipeline. I think we
I
need to
don't
know that
know.
before we, move forward on something like that.
Or there's an existing pipeline
Yeah.
Yes,
already in the
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
They wanna go not parallel, but below it.
below.
They wanna go below it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that, the engineer and the,
Yeah, the
looked
road
at it and
manager,
everything.
They approved it. So,
Ms. Anderson, you good?
Yeah, it shouldn't be, because it's going, that's what was one of our concerns about the environmental with the, creek, but since it's going under, doesn't, in my opinion, pose any.
Now, where is this again?
on Treadway.
Now, where is
That's
it?
in District 5.
I'm talking about like where about in District 5?
Let's see, if you go into Hollandale, you can turn left and go east on Murphy Road, and that's Treadway.
Okay.
All right, I need a motion and a second,
So moved.
and I got a second. Any questions? Anybody uncomfortable?
I'm uncomfortable, but I'll go with it.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
I do
Amen.
have one thing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lee.
Did we ever increase the fees on the,
Yes.
how's that going?
It's on us. We've got to
Okay.
communicate it. I
Did you
believe.
ever get them all, what you were going up exactly?
I brought it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
So you're
believe,
just waiting for us to vote to go into effect?
Can y'all
on it? Okay.
refresh our memory? I remember you did bring it, I just don't remember what it was. From what to what?
I think what we were trying to do, the minimum permit fee would be.
no.
Oh,
You say you think.
Okay,
All right, what we need to do is go ahead and email it to each,
okay.
email it.
I'm trying to remember too exactly what it
No,
was.
don't
I
do
don't want
that.
to say anything wrong.
I don't do that.
Okay.
Now, evidently, everybody has not had an opportunity to review this, is not prepared to vote on this. Is that correct?
His title is, what
Unless y'all want to move forward with it.
Special counsel.
That's a question.
Say it again.
If you're prepared and you're ready to move forward with the adjustments, we can go
Well,
ahead
we
and move
we
forward.
can, I'm fine waiting. I remember it was all reasonable the first time we looked at it, so we can do it next meeting. Be prepared to do it next meeting.
All right, and if y'all would, please get that email to everybody, and we'll bring it back next meeting. Is that okay? Appreciate y'all. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, we'll holler.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
He was the
Justice Court Clerk, Ms.
tomorrow
Brooks.
first anyway, so.
I don't know the next one.
Hey,
Good
now.
morning.
Morning.
Good, good.
My report is already in and I have no
Had to be
additions.
typed up.
All right, everybody see?
Two.
Justice Court report. Still no fine workers, no activity
Still
over?
no fine workers.
Yeah,
So moved.
to accept.
approve.
All right, I got a
Second.
motion. And a
Accept.
second.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
That's too easy. But keep in mind, no fine workers has an impact now. With no trash pickup and anything else. Did everybody notice the fine collections for that department? When you get a minute, take a close look and review.
And what was it? I'm sorry, what was in it?
Just take a look at the overall breakdown.
Okay.
Fine collections, fine workers, everything. Okay, Mr. Gales. Mr. Gales, we have your report, right? Everybody got Mr. Gales' report? Anything in particular you want to bring our attention to?
No, I just have to request $30 for my state dues.
State dues, state fees, those are fees that we normally pay.
Out of 475.
So moved.
I got a motion. How much total?
It's $30.
All right, I got a motion
Second.
and a second. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything you need from us?
No, sir.
Amen. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Ms. Moore, you got Ms. Moore's report? Maybe she's not here. Ms. Smith, Jeremy? Hey, now.
I got one truck that's down, I need to get a transmission for, was 2024 F-250. Got approximately 62,579 miles on it. And I
My
got two
goodness.
quotes. Sir,
That's not a lot of miles for transmission to go out.
What happened?
it's just, it
What-
was missing, and then we put it in the, shop. It was missing, then it won't pull, cause that we used to pull our Bobcat and the 3 more trailer.
All right.
Is there a warranty on the truck?
No warranty, we, checked that Canon, so the warranty was
Wait,
no warranty.
which truck is it?
It's the, brown truck that the grounds use.
Okay.
But,
What-
you know, it hauls a pretty heavy load. And when you're hauling, if you don't use the tow haul mode, that kind of thing, a lot of things can happen. What are you gonna do to make sure this doesn't happen again, Ms. Smith?
I see how you doing.
Make sure
Well,
Right.
figure out what happened. There's a reason why this happened. That's 62,000 miles. Can't happen again. I got a,
What's your quotes?
The quotes, from Guy Howard's transmission service, it'll be $7,685. And
Okay.
then Canon Motors would be $7,137.47.
So moved to go with the lowest bid, $7,137.
any other questions? I got a motion. And I
Second.
And I got a second. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, sir. Anything else?
Then the next thing about these, with all the rain and the ice, we got a bunch of roofs, had a bunch of leaks in it, and the worst one would be the DHS bill. I called and notified, let y'all know, and me and Lorraine are there from there, finally on it. It was mostly structural, intact, but it's an old roof, probably about 25 years old.
The roof is?
Yes, sir.
What's the plan?
I think we went Thursday, so I haven't had time to get a cost estimate on it, but, authorize me to do a cost estimate and see how much it's gonna cost.
Lee?
We're looking at doing, there's a pitch roof on part of it, then part of it's flat roof, so if you can, authorize me to start putting a TPO up real fast.
Yeah. Well, how many leaks were actually found this go around?
About 7.
Did we stop those leaks for now?
I got those stopped
So we're good for now?
for now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think we need to do just a cost estimate on it.
It's the same building, putting a new floor.
Floor, yeah. Not necessarily, but we definitely need to know what we're looking at, what the cost would be, to do that. That's a
I
pretty
do.
good sized building too, though.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Smith?
That's it for me.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hold up, Ms. Smith. They're working on the air conditioning system at the convention center now, Arena?
They have started already. They started, they got the chill barrel, they took that out, and they getting measuring and getting it, they going to do it now, so he said approximately about 3 weeks they'll be back. We just have to get that built, so they'll be, trying to complete
All right.
next month, so.
All All right, well, next meeting, give us a timeline, if you would, keep the board abreast of what's going on with that particular project, if you would.
Yes, sir.
Delivery on the basketball floor.
It'll be here, to between February 24th and March 10th.
All right, everything else ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Curtains.
Curtains, end of the month, they'll be here.
All right. If there are no other questions, Ms. Smith, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, the additions, well, all right, I got a request from Mr. Mike Henry for a conditional use permit up on 935 South Lake Ferguson Road. Roy?
Good morning, everybody.
Charlize.
I purchased a lot from John and Debbie Davis at Lake Ferguson, and the board had issued them a conditional permit to park a RV up there. And I would like to ask the board to extend that.
Let me refresh your memory. There was concern about RVs being parked up on the lake in a residential area. And there were complaints from the homeowners in the area that they didn't want it because of some concerns that they had. And the previous property owner got a conditional use from us to have that RV up there that Davis was coming in and out and working. And they were allowed to do it, but that conditional use permit did not transfer.
Did we take a vote on
The board insisted if the property ever changed hands, the conditional use was no longer there. Am I right, Roy?
Yes, sir. It actually went before the
What
planning
happened to
commission,
engineer?
and like I said, the board did have a
Bring
public
it back
hearing on
up.
it. And he said, sheets that you got. They sent out a letter, detailed letter, and you have it in your packet as well, that, those three specific properties were granted a conditional use.
Everybody got this?
Where's the ball?
If the board, that was an uproar, but clearly.
That was one of those, I remember one of them was, like I say, was closer to the north end entrance there.
That's the one.
They were
Yes.
living in Alabama or somewhere like that, and that's the property.
All right.
And
Thank-
when we, a conditional
If she
use,
ain't did it,
and
she
it
gonna
did
be
not
out.
transfer over to the,
All right, bye.
to the next, owner of the property.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, that's what you have right here.
All right.
yeah.
And boy, for the record, it's 1933 instead of 1935.
Something like that, Carl,
Yeah.
and this is just my thoughts on that too, is it, I mean, in your district, how do you feel about that? I mean,
Well, one question, let me ask Mr. Henry one question. Mr. Quinn, what's your intention? What do you plan to do with this property?
Well, I would like to put my RV up there and I can, not to live in, but I would like to do that with a portable cover over it.
Okay, so there's no Airbnb, none of that. It's
Oh,
strictly for your personal use.
It's just strictly my personal use. and
Okay, I'd like to do
we-
some.
We maintain that property in good condition and
Okay.
keep it mowed and trimmed.
Yeah.
And, it's one of the neater places up there now.
I'd like to extend the same privilege with the same guidelines. Property ever changes hands from him.
comes back to the board before, yeah.
I have a question, but now what are the citizens saying on that, wherever you live?
They haven't said anything just yet about this, about Mr. Henry.
What have they said in the past then?
Well, when this thing first popped off, there were some issues with some of the other RVs on the property, and they were extremely concerned about it. But they allowed the conditional use and were for it for these particular three properties, and we did that. There have not been any issues. Our only
And
issue,
they okay with this right here also?
we haven't talked with them.
No, I'm asking, I mean, are your neighbors okay with what's going on
My
still?
neighbors are fine.
Okay.
All right, need a motion?
So moved
And a
to
second.
extend.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Henry, be safe. We'll be talking.
Yes,
Enjoy.
thank you.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Stanley Suber of the class of 1982.
My class.
Request permission to serve alcoholic beverages. I should have known you were involved. On February 10th, at the convention center for a class reunion. Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second.
Thank you.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Appreciate to come ask for it.
Motion carries. All right, Mr. Pass,
Nay,
Pastor, be safe and do your
get me
paperwork.
down.
Ms. Sorry,
Ms. Bernadine, Ms. Bernadine,
put Lee down as a
nay.
nay.
I don't
Lee as a nay.
care.
Baldwin County, y'all fold, we don't fold in Washington County.
Okay, Anderson and Huntley requesting permission to serve alcohol to bears at Washington County Convention Center March 16th. For a wedding, Henley.
So moved.
I got a motion? And I need a second. Got a motion and a second. Questions?
No.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
I got one nay. Motion carries. Anybody here represent? Take care of your paperwork. Be safe and good luck.
What is
Ms. Stacker is not here. Where are the additions? All right, where are the additions? I'm going to my additions. What we added to the agenda.
We got,
Oh, we'll
I
get it.
have- I
We're
have
gonna get it.
my-
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Justin.
I have,
Election commissioners first.
and I had two conditions, I have two additions.
Right, but we got a list of how we got it. Got it. Ms. Thompson, and then we got to go down the list. Mr. Burt should be next, and then the election commission.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I'm coming to the board on behalf of the commissioners requesting for our days for this year. And we're just asking for approval of those days.
What are those days? Is it more or less?
It's the same, because we possibly gonna have 3 elections this year, we get that extra 35 days. So, it's, if you do 2 or more elections.
Questions, comments? Now I need a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Point of
Question.
information.
Come on.
So does this include any primaries or just,
Primaries, runoff, anything.
and so the pay will be the same as it was in our last year?
Some of it, yeah.
What part would change?
The fact that we don't have as many ballots.
So it go less, it'll be less?
For us, yes.
Any other questions? Got a motion and a second. Are there other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else?
Yes, also too, I'm challenging the qualifications of 2 candidates
All right,
that
hold one
has
second.
qualified, so.
Now,
this-
that challenge has to be in writing,
It's in writing.
okay? And once you file it with the board would have to, send a copy to the other person, okay?
Gotcha.
All right?
If you'll just pass that on, we'll give it to
Do
the
we
attorney.
need a motion to receive this?
Yes.
Make a motion that we receive this.
And a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Point of
Motion carried.
information.
Go ahead.
Can we get a reason why it was being challenged?
We're gonna give it to you.
should be in there.
Yeah,
It should be in there, and you don't wanna discuss it now, and let me explain to you the reason why. The Board of Supervisors initially determined whether or not a particular candidate is qualified to seek the position of election commission. That is the only time, you get that opportunity. No, you don't get that right in any other races other than election commissioner, because they cannot police themselves.
Gotcha. I understand.
So, and you don't wanna discuss it now. You receive it, and then, you gotta give at least 3 days' notice to the other side.
All right. Any other questions on it?
Is this something that after, even amongst ourselves, that we need to go into closed session and discuss afterwards, or wait till we
No,
get
no,
that back?
No, because, until you have a hearing,
Okay.
if that person requests you make a determination.
Gotcha.
And invite that person the opportunity to present as well, and that presentation is done in open session.
Gotcha.
And you can go in the closed section to deliberate,
Okay.
okay, on whether or not you're gonna agree or disagree with respect to the challenge. all right?
Gotcha.
Okay.
But other than that, it's done in open,
Okay.
in public view, everything.
Okay.
Any other questions? I got a motion on the floor to receive. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So Supervisor Redmond waiving the seat.
Yeah.
Anything else?
As part of that, Mr. President, in the minutes, that the minutes reflect that notices to be immediately sent to,
The challenge.
the
How do you say that?
the
Challenge.
contestee.
Is that what it is? Contestee.
That's
So that
the
needs to
conte-
include,
she's
that
the
needs, the motion
contestant.
needs to include that.
Please, yeah, we have to know.
Yes,
that.
okay.
Who is the contestee?
You gonna really call the name?
You can call the name.
Okay.
It's in the record.
That would be, Jacqueline Thompson.
You the contestant.
No, Michael Altramieri
Okay.
and Mr. Blue.
It's two of them.
It's two.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Are you
Thank you.
contesting both of them, by the way?
Well, the other person wasn't here, they got the letter, so I made sure that it was also included in that request.
No. I'm asking, are you contesting, the qualifications of one or both of them?
Both.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Birch.
We have executed the contracts on the airport sign. Ms. Carter, can I start these off? So this is the mock-up that we got from Mitchell Construction. We were told that it's gonna be about a 10-week lead time, so we're anticipating late April, early May. This should be going in, and then the engineering part of removing the old sign and doing the electrical should be finished by then. So this is a general mock-up. If you have terrible vision, I blew it up on the backside, but that is not a great reflection of the sign. It's just my vision's going amongst other things, so I blew it up a little bit for everybody. But yes, we're anticipating late April is probably going to be the time that is in. You also should have received an email from our office in the past week. So through a grant, we have contracted with Retail Strategies. Here is the information for both the city of Greenville and the city of Leland. The one that is in your inbox is more county focused, but it should have the data on the corporate and the individual franchise rates for both as we begin the industrial clustering process for the county. In other business, we are currently working in the city of Leland, so we are at the 5-year point for the 61 and 82 site to expire from Entergy's qualified sites. It is one of 7. We do have the grant dollars to go in and do the phase 1 environmental and the wetlands. I did check with Entergy and the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. We won't have to do another cultural study on the property, which should save us about $60,000, but we should have enough grant dollars to cover both of that. We just got to wait for the option on the property, which should be done in the next couple of weeks. But we're hoping to have that tied up sometime in the spring before it expires during the month of June to keep that as a viable property. Last but not least, we were invited to submit for $470,000 for industrial recruitment. We are working with Next Move Group and then TSP for the county. They have begun to give us our fatal flaw analysis of the industrial properties. Maybe it's just fortuitous timing. One of the top 3 was the extension of Broadway from the city of Greenville to the airport. The second one was actually doing culverts and the extension of the road on Theobald within the industrial park. And then the other one was the signage. So very fortuitous timing. If there's any other questions or thoughts, I'm happy to answer them.
No questions, no comments? Ms. Birch, we appreciate you.
Thank you much.
All right. Huh? All right. Mr. Andrew Smith.
Good morning, everyone. How
Hey
you
now.
doing?
Morning.
Real brief this morning. First thing I want to just give you your rough numbers, well, not rough numbers, your balances for your opera dollars for district, remaining for District 1 is $380,000. District 2, $270,000. District 3, $180,000. District 4, $432,500. And District 5, $426,077.70. And I will get this out to you guys.
Okay, I got a question. On those numbers, are any of those already committed or earmarked? I mean, that's
That's
the
based
balance, or is that after everything, because I know some projects are still, you know, are ongoing, they're not complete, and there's still some money
That's
out.
just the money allocated. Ms. Carter is providing a breakdown of what's paid out from
Gotcha.
each allocation.
Gotcha, gotcha,
But that's based on the allocations
Gotcha.
that y'all have approved.
gotcha.
And what's the remaining time in order to make sure this is spent?
They have to be obligated by December 31st of 2024.
2024.
This year, by the end of the year, the money. has to
Committed.
be-
Everybody understand, end of
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah.
By the end of this year, then everything has to be closed out pretty much by September 2026.
Gotcha.
All right.
The Critical Housing Assistance Program, there's a meeting scheduled for, you all approved to authorize that program. There's a meeting scheduled for Friday morning, February 23rd, at the Convention Center, and that's where we will provide the actual applications and go through the criteria with everyone. The application did not change, the criteria has not changed, but just wanted to make sure that the county has that public engagement with the citizens, and if you all can make it, certainly would appreciate it.
And that,
Ms. Carter is already prepared to do that. It will, if you all approve it, it will advertise on this Wednesday.
So we need approval to advertise, so moved.
got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Time again, Ms. Smith, 23rd,
o'clock.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. on February 23rd. The item number 2 deals with the Congressional Federal Register, Section 200, which is the procurement policy. I do not know whether or not the county has one. I will research that, but if you do not have a federal procurement policy, which is now required since ARPA has been, since Treasury did the ARPA program, we have searched in other places and found that it was necessary to develop that policy. I spoke with Mr. Griffin earlier. Today is for informational purposes. If I do not find one, I will provide a draft policy to the attorney for approval at the next board meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Item number 3, Pafford, order approving ARPA pay authorization in the amount of $200,000, which is actually transferring the $200,000 from the ARPA fund to the general fund for payment to support health and medical services in Washington County. You all approve that this is just authorizing the actual
Payment itself.
payment itself, yes.
Questions, comments?
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. Questions or comments? Now, on other opera dollars, how do we disperse those? This is a lump sum payment they're asking for, right?
Yes, it will come out of, you all approved to take $40,000 from each supervisor, from each allocation, and, 40,000 times 5 is $200,000. We'll transfer that from the ARPA fund to the general, Ms. Carter will transfer that from the ARPA fund to the general fund, and I guess send them a check.
Okay, Lee.
And that money, that also reflects this earlier numbers you give us.
That's less.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir, that is included
Gotcha.
in
That's
what
less
the
those
numbers that I
amounts.
Yeah,
just provided you guys.
yeah.
All right, and when we dispense other opera dollars, how do we normally do that?
Just like I did that when I come before you with
And we cut them a check or we reimburse? How do we normally do
you
it?
cut them a check. We have not gotten to the point where we have requested any reimbursement. The only reimbursement that you all will receive for ARPA is gonna be from MCWIDEQ. And when that's done, you will submit, there's a, HORN, which is the group that is a support organization for MDEQ with the implementation. They have scheduled a meeting, I believe it's February 27th, to finally do an implementation workshop with everyone that's working with that program. If you all would like to attend, I'll definitely send you the link, because you have to register to get access to the Zoom.
Okay.
But some of the reimbursements have been done. In order to get the reimbursements, you just have to upload your procurement documents, the actual contracts, photographs of work completed and stuff like that. So we just haven't gotten to that point yet. I think the only thing that you all have paid out There was one done for Black Bayou and one done for Winterville, Golden Acres. Those are the only two. So after we have this implementation workshop, we'll move forward with those.
All right, any other questions?
Um,
Not, do I have a motion already? I think I do. I do have a motion. All in favor, show by sign of aye. I need it. I need the ayes, please. If you're in favor of the transfer, yeah. All right, I got, any nays?
Nay.
I got 2 nays. Motion carries. McGee and Gordon nays. Motion carries.
Last item, I spoke with Mr. Henry Rucker at the Elks Lodge on Alexander Street. They have been working with an engineer who services, an architect whose services they procured. It's a group called Major and Associates. They've come in and done an inventory to prepare a cost estimate based upon the scope of work that's included in their subrecipient agreement. And the budget right now, the proposed cost estimate is approximately $130,000. And you all allocated $100,000, and they believe that they can cut their budget about $10,000. So they're requesting a request to increase the subrecipient agreement with the Elks Lodge on Alexander Street from $100,000 to $120,000 due to projected costs needed to complete budgeted work as outlined in previously approved requests.
Any questions? Hey, Brooke? Need a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Nay. That's 3-2. Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Smith?
No, sir.
Okay.
Unless you have any questions about anything?
Any questions, Mr. Smith? Hey, man, no, we good.
Thank you.
We are, where it's coming from.
District 5.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Thank you.
Ms. Moore, did you want to see us?
Yes.
Come on. Oh, and let me see it. All right. Come on up if you would.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good
now.
morning.
Ms. Carter.
Charlie.
On page 2, the county went in and demolished the structure at 1761 South Lake Ferguson Road, and that special tax assessment needs to be signed by the president.
All right.
In reference to the town of Arcola,
Oh, hold, let me, Ms. Griffin. Do I have to vote these individuals? Approve them? The assessments against those properties. The first one is
it was just that one.
just that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any questions on that one? As for the assessment against that property up on Lake Ferguson Road. The address is 1761 South Lake Ferguson Road. If there are no questions, all in favor of the assessment, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sorry,
In reference to the structures in Arcola that you asked me to do a follow-up on,
got it?
I pulled them out, and as far as I can detect is, it's in the city limits of Arcola.
Who owns it?
Here you go.
Arcola,
This town does.
mm-hmm.
We already approved doing it pending the research.
But they need to be demolished.
I thought it was one. Tommy, help us with this, Tommy.
Yeah.
It's one or two.
What about
Yes.
it?
Uh-huh.
Is it what?
I spoke with the mayor last week.
Because they city property, city entity, so that county can take any action against, they need that, the board of, aldermen,
Mm-hmm.
mayor must approve the resolution making that request.
Okay.
So the board can't,
Right, before, I recommend before this board takes any action, that you first get the authority
Mm-hmm.
from the mayor and the board of aldermen.
Yeah, right.
You know, you can speak to it, but it has to
Be in writing.
reflected in that minutes that they authorized.
Okay.
And make the request to the county to demolish those
We'll
buildings.
keep all this together. What is that right there?
Okay.
I recommend we just post
moved. So
Got a
moved
motion to postpone, Tommy,
Second.
and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And these are the photos that you requested, Mr. McGee?
Yeah.
For, 1807 South Lake Ferguson Road,
Good
Carmel.
enough. This is a property that we've had on the list for a number of years. We've given some relief and trying to work with the property owner.
The big house?
And it's still, and have you communicated with the family at all?
I submitted another 30-day notice to them
Another 30 days?
as of last week,
Okay. In other words, we're gonna, we're gonna
but
have
it's
to
already been approved by the board.
to elect tomorrow. We just,
You-
no,
No, this is,
Our
all-
board.
this is another.
This is out in the county.
Right.
This on Lake Ferguson.
yeah. Yeah, it's on Lake Ferguson. We walked with them, we talked with, and, they're getting another 30-day notice, so they'll probably be making phone calls.
How long ago was the original decision made?
I believe 3 or 4 years.
It was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's been quite
3
some
or 4
time.
years.
Then you need to redo it. Okay? You cannot sit on and.
We did, we gave extension.
Here's the thing, you can hold it for up to a year,
I got you.
and after a year, you must
Redo.
go through the whole process again, alright? So what you need to do is give them notice that, set it, the board needs to go ahead and set a hearing. I would recommend you set that hearing at the first meeting in March. And give them, the owners, you notify the owners, send them a notice that unless they show good cause by that March meeting, why this building should not be, demolished, and the board gonna authorize, then the board gonna convene a hearing to determine whether it ought to be demolished.
Okay.
And I'll assist you in getting that written up, so the board needs to go ahead and set that hearing, and we'll get that notice out.
Okay, can we do this in April? 'Cause this is February, March. I gave him 30 days.
Okay.
So in April,
Pretty big, isn't it?
You gave them 30 days to do what, from when to when?
for him to go in and demolish.
Now, what property is this?
This is, well, the address is, what is that? 1807 South Lake Ferguson Road.
Yeah.
It's up on the
1807.
lake.
1807.
In view of the fact that Ms. Moore has given notice, I think what we need to do is to just
Set a hearing.
authorize the notice to be amended to indicate that the board will set a hearing
After that, if
for
nothing's,
April 30th unless it is demolished prior
Gotcha.
to that date.
April 1st?
April.
April 1st, when is that? April, what's the date of the first meeting in April?
April
April
1st.
Yes, okay.
So moved.
You got a motion? And I need a second.
For that hearing to take place if it's
Second.
not demolished.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
All right, got a motion and a second. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Would you take a look at, they had started working on it a while back, we sent some letters out right there at the intersection of 1 and 454, that old junkyard. They had started cleaning up
Yeah.
some, but all that
It's
still
all-
looks bad, they kinda stopped.
Yeah.
Would you,
I said-
thank you, yeah, cause like I said, they had started and they got some of it clean, but moved some of it.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I got a question. So, we just send notices out to these people? That's all?
Those are just notices.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Ms. Moore? Appreciate you, Ms. Moore. All right, what was the other addition? I'm finna get Mr. Sear, Ms. Sear.
That was the other addition. That was the other.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Good morning. How y'all
Go
doing?
ahead.
A few items for the board this morning. Did you want me to give that report?
I wanna discuss it right now. When you finish doing what you gotta do, we'll discuss it.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Have a homestead exemption application on Mr. Larry Carter. Mr. Carter, became disabled in February of '21, so we're asking to amend Mr. Carter's, homestead for 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So Supervisor Gordon Wade, Ms.
You got a, you say you got a, it was in 2021.
2021 is when he became disabled. He's
just
asking to,
y'all now.
yes, yes. Have a petition for reduction of assessment on Bernadine Iva Homes. Let's see, there was her property was over assessed for tax year 2023 due to a change in her assessment. The law changed through the state of Mississippi where individuals over 65, if they make changes to their property, their value should not increase. There was no structural change. There was just an improvement change. So we're asking that this be reduced.
Got a motion? And a second. No other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Supervisor Gordon the way.
There's a mobile home in the name of Robert Wilkerson Sr. This mobile home was torn down in June of 2023, and we're asking to make a change to the roll to show this mobile home as torn down for 2023.
I got a motion, and I need a second.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Supervisor Gordon still away.
All right, that's all I have on those.
All right, I attended, myself and Supervisor Brooks attended a town hall meeting the other week, and they were actually discussing some major issues involving crime in the community. And one of the things that came up was the issue about shortages. Sheriff Department, Police Department, and retention, as well as attracting new officers. And during that conversation, you know, people really were concerned about it. Police Department having more issues with staffing than the Sheriff Department. But in order to resolve any issue with shortages, any inability to attract or retain qualified individuals, you're gonna have to give an above average salary. And after listening to the presentation and all from the presenters and comments from the audience, I asked the question of the audience, if there was anyone in the audience who would not support a tax increase in order to support safety and security in the community. And nobody had an issue. So what I like to do today is just give this board some information about what it would mean to actually make an adjustment with taxes, whether it's 1 meal or 2, depending on what you decide. But I asked Mr. Sear to put together some numbers so people would understand, and what we would do with these numbers, of course, Mr. Attorney, is go to a public hearing and allow the community to make the decision as whether they want this increase or not. If it comes to that, but we'll consult the attorney as the best way to proceed. Figure it out.
I'll look at it for the next meeting.
Good enough. Let me get the numbers now. Ms. Seard, if you would share with us, the impact of a millage increase in the average home in Washington County.
Sir?
Oh.
1 meal generates about $445,782. So.
What's?
1 meal generates what?
$445,782.
And that's 1 meal. What's the impact on the average household annually?
So you have that before you. On the average household, you have a breakdown on the left-hand side of various values, ranging from $20,000 in value up to $500,000 in value. It's very minimal, the impact on taxes. Currently, the tax rate for, let's just say, a $50,000 house, with the 1 meal increase, that those taxes, this is just the county taxes, would be $366.75. Last year's effect was only $363.55, so it's a very minimal impact.
All right, and what we'll need to do is add another column out there to show those minimal impacts. It'd be much easier to follow. If you tell me I'm only gonna pay another $20 a year, I can read that. If I gotta pay another $50 a year, you know, but we'll adjust it before we go public. Anything else you wanna share, Mr. Seard?
Really, let's get 500,000, you're looking at $32 difference from the county.
That's correct.
It's $32 difference. And I agree with you.
we gotta communicate that.
Yep.
Transparent, so everybody be on the same page.
That's right.
What else, Mr. I'm sorry?
I just have a breakdown at the bottom for the Washington County's entire increase and Greenville City's increase if they desire to make a change also. I have their impact there as well. And for just the western line areas only, I have their impact also at the
Okay.
bottom.
And, Mr. Attorney, this board is not saying we're gonna now go and raise anybody's taxes. We're having the conversation that was had with us, in a community meeting, but we just need to know what is the process to get the community involved, let the community decide what they wanna do.
Certainly, you have the authority and latitude to increase, at the beginning of the next budget year. You cannot, increase it during this fiscal year, this budget, but you, at the beginning of next, year, you can do it without a referendum. Now, if it's a special tax that you requested, then you may want to do a referendum or have some public hearings. And I believe that we have sufficient, ability to raise it 1 mil, do we not, Mr. City?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so you already have sufficient, ability to raise it without, obviously you're gonna grant the public hearings during your budget session, to notify the public of this intent to increase it if you decide to go that route. But you don't, it won't require referendum.
All right, well, let me, go on, I'm sorry, Ms. Brooks.
With, Sheriff, I know you told us you needed new officers, with additional officers. How many more officers do you need to be, to run the county strong? Cause I just wanna make sure this number would be suffice on what you're looking for your department.
I would say 60 high.
60.
60 would be the high number.
See, and what kind of pay rate? Cause I know we're looking, if we're gonna do this, we're looking to raise the rate of all our officers and then of the new officers. It'd be good if you put a budget together so we can be all on the same page on if this suffice enough or what we need to do if we're gonna move forward with this. Thank you.
All right, but from this point going forward, Mr. Attorney, we would like the community to have input. Don't want this board is not going to decide on their own to raise taxes.
Right, I understand that.
Ain't gonna happen.
I'm saying you can do that during your budget session.
All right, but we need to know before budget session.
What you need to know, how much, you're trying to generate. You need to know, how many officers and the justification for that, okay? In advance of the budget session. That's what I would recommend, that this board, together with the sheriff department and Mr. Sear and Ms. Carter, convene some meetings. They can be public, they have to be public.
Have to be public, they need to be.
Discuss that in advance of the budget session, so when you go in the budget session, you already know where you are. And you can have those public hearings at any point, prior to the budget session. However, it's mandated that even subsequent to, once you decide on a recommended budget and on a recommended tax increase, you gotta have them subsequent to the approval of that tax rate, okay? So you can do, you can have hearings prior to, but you gotta, they mandated after you make that decision, okay?
I got another question. So we do it as a special tax, what would be the process for a special tax?
I would not recommend a special tax unless your budget is at the point unless your tax rate is at the point where you cannot levy a meal, a meal plus to pay this, okay?
Well, we pretty much are at that level if you're looking to raise a tax for law enforcement. And my biggest concern is being prepared for the summer. Because the summer is heated. The sheriff department really has looked at all municipalities during the summer. The parks are open, it's a lot going on. So I would hate for us to wait until August and we raise it for October 1. It's really about public safety, so I think we should consider a special tax on this because the people did speak at the meeting that Mr. McGee and President McGee and I was at. And I think we need to look at it, get your numbers, crunch them, hear what the people have to say, and move forward so we can find ways to keep Washington County
as long as you do not exceed a 10% increase in your tax rate on an annual basis, then you can do it as a regular, within the regular process of generating funds for your general fund in order to do this. Now, with respect to a special taxes are limited, okay? You can only use them, even if you have an excess generated in that special tax, you can still, it lays up there and you cannot use it for any other purpose.
All right, well, don't use the word special, it's not gonna
Well,
get
and honestly, I don't have a problem with that, cause this is all about public safety.
Yes.
And we see what's going on in our county. And I don't see it getting any better. I just think that, I think we need to really start thinking about this summer on how do we continue to keep this county safe. We're seeing more murders take place in our county, and the ages are 13, 14, 15. The sheriff department talked about how we got these 16-year-old youth in this jail. We just had a little girl killed here in Greenville, a high school student. And I don't want to get to the point it becomes the common thing we get used to hearing about teenagers killing teenagers. I just saw a billboard up, and it was talking about domestic violence with teenagers. That is a real concern from us. So I hear what you're saying, Mr. Attorney, but to me, we at a need right now to do something for our community. And if it means we got to get more law enforcement because we are losing, we really kind of going back for DeSoto County because they're getting all our best officers on a municipal level and on the county level. So I just can't sit here and just say wait until August, because it is a need going on. Too much is going on in our news that we see what's going on in our county, and we got to do something for our babies.
I think, when you're talking about tax, what you're saying, you can't do it right now anyway unless it is a special tax. But what I would suggest on that is, as we're meeting with the finance committee, we don't necessarily have to, let's look at other avenues that we can pull from to go ahead and do this without the special meal. You're not talking about $400,000 and something within a full year. Right. So even if we do it during our budget session, you're not going to reap the benefits till next January, February anyway. So I would suggest we got to have a budget meeting anyway. So let's look at that. And I agree, because if we do a special tax, then it's just sit there just for that reason. So I think there's other avenues, and when we talk about it during our budget session, yeah, we can do it then. But I think we could go ahead and look at some things now. So when we meet this week or next week and look at the budget, let's just look at some things and that we could do, possibly before then.
Okay, now,
Let me just say, with a special tax, there is a fixed time.
That's right.
Okay?
Time limit.
In other words, if you say it's for 3 years, you cannot generate revenue to maintain that law enforcement, that effort that you did. If it's a special tax, you gotta go back and try to do other options, use other options, okay? So you have to be careful when you talk about doing a special tax. We all agree that there's a need. The question is, how do you go about fixing it?
So I got a question.
All right.
So let's say we did do a special tax.
Oh my God.
So is there a problem? Because I have a question.
We're not going to, no, the problem is we're not going to do a special tax.
I said, I just have,
And
I
let's
need.
not keep beating that dead
Well,
horse, but go
Mr.
ahead.
President, I have a question, so I can have clarity, so I can have knowledge. So if let's say we decide to do a special tax, so we would have to go back and do a special tax every year, or could we pass, some type of resolution that the special tax would be indefinite to go strictly to our sheriff department?
A special tax is for a fixed period of time.
Okay, so.
You have identified a problem, and then, you issue a special tax with the approval of the voters or whatever, or the community to do it, all right?
So we talk.
And for a fixed period of time. For instance, if generally speaking, watch this, special taxes are utilized, say you got a certain, community, okay? A cohesive community. They want something special done to their streets. You can issue a special tax earmarked to that particular community. And that money has to be obligated within that community additional money for your, you just wanna see what's being generated. I would strongly encourage you to do that as within the regular course and scope of your business in terms of taxing, citizens of this county, and not saying we're doing a special tax. It ain't gonna people when they see a special tax anyway. They don't wanna hear. Okay?
I don't think people get upset when they watch the news and they see what's going on in our county.
Well, what I'm saying is you gonna generate your money, Ms. Brooks, but
It
within
just-
the regular course and scope
Right.
of your taxing authority.
No, I'm just saying, we will generate, but it just won't go into effect until October 1 of 2024, and the summer will pass.
All right,
Even
let,
if you did a special tax, it still wouldn't go into effect.
all right, let me do
Okay.
this.
You can't do it now.
You good, Mr. Britton?
You can't do it now.
You good, Ms. Britton?
Yes,
We
Ms.
could.
Brooks, you good?
Okay.
You good, Ms. Brooks?
yes.
Thank you.
Y'all good?
But,
Go ahead.
but what I'm saying is, Ms. Brooks, we don't, not necessarily have to wait. Here's what I think, if I was I'm a taxpayer too. I would look at and say, because I think everybody wants to be safe, everybody. So I would look at, well, how are you spending other money? I think there's other things we can look at we have right now that we might can look and go back and say, well, you know what? We may not need to do that this year. We can start now, and we can put that off to next year, and we can use this money in order to do this. So the answer to your question, it's not that we have to wait. That's why I'm saying when we have the budget meeting, there may be avenues that we can go ahead now and do that, and then move forward in that for next year. So I don't think it necessarily, it might, but I'm not saying it necessarily will have to wait.
Okay, anyone else? All right, let me share this with you all, and it's a request as well. I want to go ahead and move forward and schedule a public hearing to have this conversation with the community, to share this information with the community, not waiting till later in the year, before mid-March. I want to go ahead and get this done and just get input from the community to see exactly how everybody across the community feels about this particular idea, resolving the issue of shortages in law enforcement. That's what the conversation is, and the impact, if the community decides they want to do this, people who pay real taxes, the impact it'll have on their properties. Whether it's the residential property, keep in mind, there's agricultural land outside of the incorporated areas that'll be impacted by this as well. But it's resolved the issue of shortages in law enforcement in Washington County. The community may vote it down and say, we do not support this. We do not want to raise our taxes, not even for a limited period of time. And that's the end of it. Then we'll have to get creative in order to make sure that we put in an above average salary to resolve the issues we're currently having with retention and our ability to attract qualified officers. Anyone else?
Yes, I have a question. Ms. Carter, when was the last time the county raised taxes?
Almost a decade ago.
Anyone else? Anything else from you, Mr. Seer?
No, sir.
Any questions, Mr. Seer? All right, we'll get back with you and let you know what's going to happen going forward, how we go ahead and communicate with the community. Who did I miss? Hey, Ms. Stacker. Did I miss anyone other than Ms. Stacker? I'm sorry. I got Ms. Brooks, you added a resolution.
Yes, last week we were at the MES, Mississippi Association of Supervisors, and while I was there, I met with both of our legislators, Senator Simmons and Representative John Hines and Representative Willie Bailey. While I was there, Senator Simmons informed me that he is now the Senate County Chair of County Affairs. Representative Hines brought to my attention he's now on appropriations. And they both requested that we submit a resolution making requests on projects we want, but we need to get it to them by Wednesday. So I know what projects I want, and I'd like for Mr. Andrew Smith to put that resolution together for us. In my opinion, I think we should put a high-end number to submit to them. Clearly, we won't get it all, but I feel that we will get something.
What's the project you're talking? You said you
For
had a project.
me, I mean, I think each supervisor knows
Right,
what they
yeah,
need in their
yeah.
district, but in my district, in District 4, I'm looking at Old Leland Road and Forest Acres. Those are
Okay.
my two projects that I'm gonna submit. I already got a number for it that's been done already. And I think we need to get together, each one get, you know, each supervisor get your projects together, maybe have the engineer go do an assessment, give a ballpark number, so we can submit this on Wednesday, cause, you know, they're getting things together with appropriations.
But it has to be a state aid.
No,
It can be any,
project.
it can
Any
be any
project.
project.
Yeah.
I mean, even in
Now, let me-
neighborhoods,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It can be
It can
any.
be anything, yeah. It's just that whatever you think is important, because I don't want to try to pick what you need
Right.
in your district.
Yeah.
But what it is, we need to get it together, submit it to, let Mr. Andrew Smith put it together so we can submit it on Wednesday. No
Okay.
later than Thursday. And I think we all know what we need in our district, even when we took that tour.
Right.
And everybody identified what their concerns are. I think if we all can submit maybe 2 projects from each district, and of course, we won't get funded for all of them, but I feel we will get funded something because it shows that we understand our concerns and we're making this official request. And I think it's probably the first time the county has actually made a request to the state on this level.
Mhm.
So that's my motion to send a resolution from Washington County to the to the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, I hope we can have it ready by then.
You can.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any other questions?
I'm talking about with numbers to it, you know.
Let me tell you what, and I agree, it helps with the resolution, but we've made the same request in the past, and, you know, we had a conversation about Robershaw Street, Tommy? And I think Cerula Circle's in Jerry's district.
Yeah.
And Old Leland Road's on that as well. But, it's just like last year, we got the 1.1 million for the 3 streets, and the 500,000 that we trying to hope is, where is this 500,000 since that came
Oh,
up?
for the airport.
Yeah,
We need to be getting on to those projects, not just let them sit there.
all right, so, all right, we need to follow up the mission.
I don't know whether this is involved in it, but I am seriously and critical at the Highway 12 and 61.
Yeah, we're gonna work that out.
Constantly having people killed in the intersection.
Yeah.
And Simmons High School, I don't know how old it is, but it never had a flashing light indicating that there's a school there and buses is coming out, and I don't say it, it's more than one.
Okay, we're gonna have a conversation with the commissioner. I've got to meet with him this week about that very intersection.
But I
don't know
think,
about the school, we have to help me with that one, Jerry.
well, I
Well,
think,
the school just don't have any lights.
Lights.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
We
but-
got buses in and out, but there's not a flashing light nowhere, and.
That's on
and
Highway
they-
12.
And on Highway 12, State Highway.
Okay.
And the school, the city don't have that law enforcement to even have crossing, well, the crossing guard at the school. They got one just before you get to the school, but at the school, there's nobody.
isn't that a state highway?
Yes.
I think that'd be ideal to put in there, and it's bring awareness coming from Washington County that we do have this problem and it do need to be addressed, and we are actually sending that to the state, and so I think it should go in that piece as well.
All right,
We can assist with the numbers, as my Wednesday.
Good.
I think it's a bunch of projects that have been on the shelf because of funding, so we, already ran some of the numbers, so we got that number by probably tomorrow.
okay.
We got a motion in a second.
I do, we having a conversation. Go ahead, Mr. Green.
With respect to those flashing lights, and I was around when the flashing lights was placed, up on some westernized school properties up on South, Highway 1. And all you needed to do was make a request of the Highway Commission, okay, to install those lights. If this board passed a resolution, that needs to be separate from any resolution going to the legislature, because that needs to be done without delay.
I agree.
Okay, that is a hazard for our kids, and, you know, and we can make that request, and I'm sure our commissioner will make certain that happens.
All right.
To be honest, Mr. Rabin did make that concern when the commission was here. I just think we need to just put it out there that it is a concern.
All right, we'll follow up, Mr.
You gonna make a,
Just to speak to,
The motion hadn't been passed yet.
No, this is question section.
Okay.
He
just to
won't
speak
speak
to
to it.
the District 5 statement for intersection of 61 and Highway 12, as well as the Simmons High School.
That's Highway 12 still.
Highway 12 Celia. Supervisor Redmond, with the assistance of the county administrator, has submitted a letter twice regarding assistance for that. And was very detailed and very specific about traffic accidents and then, with the buses coming in and out of the school. And we have not received a response.
All right, can I
for
have a
that.
copy of that letter?
Yes, Ms.
Yeah,
Carter.
I forgot something I got to deliver to the commissioner this week.
Good
so-
deal. Thank you.
Mr. Andrew, in your opinion, do you think we should put this in our resolution?
No,
I
it's
just,
separate.
I think that particular, those two projects, I believe that they can be done pretty
Okay.
expeditiously.
All right.
I heard, I got it because I heard Mr. McGee say that he was having a meeting with the commissioner this week. So if he can show him those two letters that have been sent, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, and
Well, I
now,
think it was one letter, cause they did one letter and I delivered it twice. That's what it was.
okay. Now, as far as this resolution goes, we've got Old Leland Road,
Forest Acres.
Forest Acres Road.
Yeah,
Forest.
no, I'm putting Forest Acres with my drainage problem over there. I'm putting it in that project.
Okay, and you can have the drawings and estimates on that.
I already got numbers
Yeah,
on that.
you got that.
From, Burley.
Yeah, I think that's $250,000, something like that,
It's 2 million.
2 million. All right, that's a huge ask.
I think we
But
should
let's
ask about
do-
$10 million and maybe get 3 million.
All right,
Go big, they gonna go low.
all right. They can also go no, but all right.
They can.
All right, I want to make sure we got this written down. That is huge. That is huge. And we've been able to get under 2 million for the last couple of years,
But
you
we
know.
need to go higher, cause I saw some counties got 20 million. But they were
Alright.
broken down through municipalities and counties, so I think we need to not serve ourselves so low.
All right. Mr. Redmond, you were good. What's the ruler circle? You good? Ms. Brooks, you got Old Leland Road and what? And Forest Acres?
Forest Acres, that project would be $3.5 million.
That by itself, 3.5.
Yep, yes, sir.
All right. Tommy, other than
California.
well, I'm calling it Robershaw now. That
Okay.
end. You want that end, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. That Robershaw. Lee.
There's a couple, I know Choctaw Mounds has some roads out there. Let me look first.
Call
And there's,
right.
right there on Pinewood in that area too. They've got some, so let me look at that and I'll get Lorenzo pretty quick on that, on those two roads.
With
You
the-
ever thought
with-
about your bridge that we looked at?
Yeah, but we should have enough in the
We
$9
do.
million to
We
be
do.
able to do that this year.
We do. Now, Ms. Brooks, you don't want to break out the Forest Acre Drainage Project and have it stand alone. You want to put it all together.
Yes, sir, I do.
What's the board want?
Well-
The people came and they gave their concern.
Yeah.
It's flooding in their homes, they're running away from water. I think we need to submit it to the county and to the state. And the state could turn around and tell us what. Well, we can send this over to another department that can help us out.
All right.
Well, John just walked in, maybe he can answer that question, the best way to do that.
All right. let
You
me
walked
see.
in at the right
Well,
time.
No, I got to get Ms. Stacker.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're going to get him. Ms.
Well,
Stacker's
no, I
on
was
her
just
way
talking about
up.
answer the question that we've got right now.
Right.
I
We've
want
got
him to hear Ms.
conversation.
Stacker's I'm glad he's here.
Yeah.
Ms. Stacker, if you would, please. Ms. Stacker, all in favor of the motion for the resolution, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's the.
I understand that, but we still didn't answer the question about the amount. We were concerned about it being such a large, and maybe John could have some input on that to say, hey, is it good to go ask for something that's just way out there, or keep it in reason? And
Okay.
that's all I was saying at that
We'll-
point, so we could go
we'll-
ahead and address that.
All right, come on up, John. Come on up,
We'll
John.
tell you what we're talking about.
Give-
We'll fill you in.
Well, first give us your presentation while you're here, and then we got something for you.
Oh, Lord. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
There are a series of things that are going on. I don't know if you're aware. First thing I'd like to discuss is this concept that Delta Council has pushed about regionalizing the hospitals.
All right, now, everybody is not aware, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis. Representative Bailey and Mr. Griffin and I were on the phone with the Congressman, Ms. Stacker, and several other entities that are involved. On last Tuesday, Delta Council came and made a presentation to the joint House and Senate Public Health Committees with a regional plan developed to regionalize healthcare services and to set a board of governance that the governor will appoint 5 to 7 members to be in charge of it and usurping all your authority. So if a county, if a hospital wanted to join, you lose all your rights to the property, all your rights to appoint people to the board, the whole 9 yards. It was not an inclusive conversation. They had Baker Donaldson, Dick Cavett, Sam, somebody, Irish know Sam.
Odell.
Who?
Odell.
Odell. And, none of us knew about it. Not a representative. The only people, Briggs Hobson said he had only found out about it maybe 30 minutes prior to the meeting. But Delta Council had been working on this 18 months. Now, they did go around and do an assessment of some of the hospitals and some of the services, but they ain't discussing nothing with nobody. Now, I believe in local governments, always have. Boards, commissions, because that's how you have the will of the people. They've not had not one meeting, with anybody who has the ability to give a resolution, pass legislation, even invest resources in. We're glad to see you too. How you doing? It is appalling that Representative Bailey sits on Delta
Council.
No, the Delta Health Alliance. Thank you. He didn't know nothing about it, and they work together. And so this is our viewpoint. They were trying to usurp the authority of these local communities, saying that y'all did not have the ability to govern yourselves. Now, although it didn't work, the approach that Delta Health System was starting with trying to do a regional authority, is the right concept. Because we don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough nurses, we don't have enough specialists, and the approach would have worked if the funding and some more things had been put in place, but it was premature. We have a problem, and I need this board and you to work your relationship with all other boards. Don't y'all give these folks no resolution saying y'all want to join in.
I agree.
Because once you do,
It's a wrap.
it's over.
I got you.
And so we got some commitments with some people to work together. We had a hour and 15-minute conference call last night. Some people have some assignments and stuff to do to try to put some stuff together. However, if one of you move toward that direction, that gives them the momentum they need. Representative Anthony, Representative Porter, Representative Bell, and myself, we embarrassed them because they hadn't been honest.
Right.
They said in front of us, they had talked to supervisors. And I asked them to name the supervisor they talked to, and they couldn't. And I had invited our board president, and the president of LaFleur County was there. They ain't know nothing about it. In fact, if I had not been given privately a piece of the legislation, we wouldn't have known nothing. So they had already, and it's supposed to be a proposed Senate bill. Derek Simmons didn't know nothing about it. Sarita Simmons didn't know nothing about it. David Jordan didn't know nothing about it. Now you're talking about people who've been invested in this process for years. And it's just, and Lee, please don't be offended by what I say, but there's a group of good old boys.
John.
I'm just being honest. Let's be for real. It's just good a good old boy getting, because some federal dollars, the federal dollars that are about to flow down for healthcare, they want to seize it. They're asking for $10 to $15 million to set up this regional authority. When we passed Senate Bill 2323 last year, giving the local hospitals the authority to do this already. We just didn't put any money in it.
Not the money coming.
That money's there. Governor has
Yeah.
Governor has the money.
So, right. So all we had to do put the money in to get them the authority to do what they need to do to work together, to share doctors, to share services, to do the whole 9 yards. It makes no sense that we don't have a neonatal unit in this Delta.
Exactly.
And we lead the country in infant mortality. But we could have a neonatal unit here in Greenville, and you could have cancer services up in Clarksdale. You could have other external rehab and other services over in Greenwood. We could feed off each other.
Right.
But they had no conversation with us. We've been trying to expand Medicaid for 10 years. In fact, we got 5 bills right now that does it in 5 different ways to show it can be done. But they ain't said nothing about that. So that's my first plea.
What's the impact of Medicaid expansion on this whole concept?
if we expand Medicaid, we don't need it.
Right.
We don't need
I
it
want
at all.
everybody to understand that.
I think
If
all
we
do.
expand Medicaid, we don't even need
Y'all know that by
the
now.
ability. Now, let me be clear. We expand Medicaid, that still needs to be some collaboration services. Cause we still are short about 35 primary care physicians. We're short about 25 specialties in this region. And the reason that, it's my belief that they just don't have enough economic growth west of I-55, which had been a plan of the leadership of this state all along. Choke us out, kill us out, and then they can do what they want to with it. Because people are, we got 4 or 5 buses leaving here going to up to South Haven and
Every day,
Nissan for
every day.
jobs. And we got the workforce here.
Yeah, but I said-
So that's I'm asking y'all, Representative Bailey and Simmons, all us on the same page on this. So I'm asking you not to commit to that. And if they come in and talk to y'all, send them to us. Because that's what they should have been talking to at first anyway. And here's what they said, which was the thumb in my eye. After we talk to y'all, we'll go back and bring them along. Am I lying? After we talk to y'all, we'll go back and really, in other words, we're going to make it happen down here and we're going to force y'all to join in. So, y'all ain't got no power. Now, this was Delta Council. Frank Howell got cussed out by several of us. And then I started getting phone calls about the guy who did the presentation that every one of these regional authorities that he's tried to help put together have failed. So I'm just saying, this, to me, is just a money grab. So any questions before I move to the next subject?
Yeah, and of course, the other day when I talked to you, that's the first I've heard about, well, actually, you and Carl, the first I heard about it. Well, but a couple questions. So, say we don't join anything
I
like
tried
that.
to call you.
Yeah.
I tried to call you.
Yeah. Well, say we
And you
don't,
too.
we don't join something like it. What's our future with that not getting in and not getting in on some of that money? Where do we go from, you know, if we don't do something like that?
So, first of all, expanding Medicaid is your
But
only-
I know, but what's the
Hold on,
chance of that happening
hold on,
though?
hold on. If you link up with them folks,
Mhm.
your seat right there is useless.
Mhm.
If you link up with them people, you are giving all of your authority completely
state.
away.
I understand.
Now, and so, but they have, Senate Bill 2323 that was passed last legislature session, that was signed by the governor, gives them the authority to do this right now. All the hospitals got to do is enter into MOUs to work together, agree on what services that each one of them are gonna provide, along with federal qualified health centers, along with other specialty clinics here. They can all, doable medical services, all of them could come together right now. The problem is ain't no money. All I'm trying to keep the lights on. If we put money in it, so if, you know, we passed $100 million bill that to take care of hospitals that could none of them touch. Not a one. So all I'm saying is we got to be smart enough in the situation. So to answer your question is, ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't go with it, and ain't nothing gonna happen for you if you do go with it. You are gonna give up your authority.
To put a person on the board and
Yeah,
to
they got, so the governor can appoint people not even from the Delta region.
But what would be our benefit with hooking up with it and going with it? Again, I want to make sure that I'm understanding
There
the
is
full.
no benefit for this county.
So there's no dollars coming in on that.
They asking for $10 to $15 million to establish this board,
Mm-hmm.
to set up governance, something that y'all already doing.
Right.
Why would you give up your authority to them for that?
And I
The
heard,
$10 or $15 million
Yeah.
would be a shot in the arm for the
So
hospital.
he can keep.
and I heard the name, Mr. Odell. What did he play in that? I mean,
He was supposed to be one of their consultants.
So he was.
If he was standing here today, I wouldn't know who he was.
Yeah,
Come to
well,
me,
he was the
we
one
all
that assisted us in you know, when we were, you know, in a little trouble with the
Right.
hospital. So he was pro this, he was
in-
for it.
Well, let me.
To quote what was told to me, hold on. Quote what was told to me. For $6,000 a month, he'll work for whoever told him.
Yeah, that's.
Whoever tell him to do whatever, whoever told him. He said $6,000 a month. That's his contract service. So that's a hired gun as far as I'm concerned. But that's what I was told. I ain't talked to him because I don't know.
All right, John.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Attorney.
And let me offer this. The troubling side of this is that we, you know, apparently this was going on while Mr. Odom was working for us as well as the Polk County Hospital. says that each county shall have a community hospital or ensure that if you do not, then you guarantee healthcare services for your community, okay? Now, that's the duty of this board of supervisors. Yet this board of supervisors has not, I'm sitting here, I haven't missed a meeting. This board, there has been no reports to this board of supervisors. I understand they met quietly with our hospital administrator and the board over there, but there has been no meetings whatsoever with this board of supervisors, the actual owners of Delta Health System. Part of this also is to weed out those federally funded hospitals, not hospitals, but healthcare providers, okay? Just squeeze and weed them out. It only takes one county to buy into this, and I believe one has already. I have an idea which one. I believe one has already bought in board members to this concept, and once that particular county buys in, then the other of us be damned, because all the money, because you can establish the original health system without the other counties having to buy in with one county. And with respect to the regional system at that point, it becomes controlling over all the federal funds that go through, come through the governor's office to this regional health system. That's the problem. The governor is unwilling to assist these hospitals and these communities to the degree necessary in order to ensure their survivability. Yet they want now to create this super commission to run healthcare throughout the Mississippi Delta. It's earmarked to the Mississippi Delta. Why? We all know why. I'm not going to say it up record, but we all know why. Limited to here, and it's really not fair without at least meeting with both members of the Board of Supervisors in conjunction with healthcare, with our healthcare providers and administrators to ensure that not only the quality of the healthcare, but governance and control of healthcare is maintained or retained in our community. That's all that's necessary. When I read this, I was dumbfounded that you could just use one county, and that county, will benefit tremendously from it. The rest of us will suffer the consequences.
Okay.
You can go ahead, I already said.
Mr. Hines, first, I want to thank you for bringing this to our attention, because I had no idea about this. I am displeased that the president and the attorney
I
had the
found out
resolution.
about this Friday.
Hold on, Ms. Griffin, let her go.
I just want to say, because I'd like to know this information as well. My biggest concern is, Representative Hines. Attorney Griffin said he thinks one county may have signed on. I think it'd be good if you share that information with them. But I think the other piece is, I think we need to make sure that Mississippi Association Supervisor Minority Caucus get involved as well, so we know that, because pretty much every county in the Delta is a member of the Minority Caucus as well. And that could be another way to navigate and bring awareness, so everybody be on the same page on the Delta region. Because we need to make sure that there's no stumbling falls that will help or hurt us from future funding coming from the federal level. But again, thank you for bringing this information to us.
Yeah, okay, Lee.
At what point were they going to approach us? Is there a point where
After it
they?
passed?
So, okay, well then, all right, so if it passed, that they can't automatically, they still have to come in, we still have to accept it, correct?
No.
No, far as us being a part of it, far as this county being a part of it.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
yeah.
So, my grandma used to say this: when you play with dogs and you let them get in your face, they gonna lick you in the face. This is a dog licking experience. And
we need to be wise enough to know, it is my belief, I have no confounded proof, but when my spirit's set on stuff, I'm right. Federal dollars finna flow. They don't want federal dollars coming this low. They want the authority and the ability to direct where their money goes. This is a money grab, or the great train ride, whatever term you want to use, because it's dollar coming. When I asked Frank, I said, why are you getting involved with this now? How much federal money coming? He got mad, turned red, went to say, ain't no money coming, ain't no money. And I already been told from 2 different federal offices that HRSA and CMS looking at funding regional programs. So don't lie to me. You know, it rains a lot up here, but I know what rain smells like too. I'm just.
All right, John.
I'm just being. I mean, I'm being real.
Okay.
So.
Go ahead, Lee.
I'm not done. I was just waiting for him to get done.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, and the thing that concerns me too is, you know, and I trust you, I really do, but I'm always want to hear from myself too. I want to know exactly what's going on. I mean, I've heard this side of it. I want to hear the other side of it. And then also, I do kind of, I guess you're filling in the blanks here too. So what you're saying, if one of the counties buy into this, I agree what you're saying, then you're going to have a hub per se, and then that will hurt us even more because that can grow and it will damage some of our services is what I'm gathering from that, from what you've.
Well, right, because it limits your opportunities to access federal funds.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The federal funds will likely be granted, they'll get priority through that authority to receive those federal funds. And they will manage those federal funds. They will, that board that's appointed by the government, the legislature, the governor appoint all these folks.
Right.
Okay? And they don't have to be even from your community. They can be from outside of the regional authority.
Yeah.
And have to be viewed as an expert. Expert in a subject matter. That's correct. So that's an expert in healthcare.
Right.
That's a expert in farming and regional service. That's an expert in grants and all this stuff. We got these folks already right here.
All right.
They eating and sleeping right here with us.
John.
So let me ask you a quick question. Would you let me, who from outside your house, pay your bills?
Yeah.
Would you let me tell you how to spend your money? Would you let me tell you what time to get up and go to bed and what time to, would you, outside your house now, would you let me do that?
Well, what I'm concerned about.
That's a simple yes or no.
Well, it's just court. If I couldn't manage it myself, and you could, yes, I would.
And I ain't talked to you about it at all?
Yeah, no, that's a different story. You didn't ask that. No,
Okay,
not if you didn't talk to me at all. No. So that's it. But okay, so my last question, John, I know this is dragging, my last question to you is, again, I go back to, okay, we don't buy into this, and it's obvious that we're probably not. What happens to us then? And let's say this one county buys into this. What happens to us then?
We still have to develop and formulate a plan, and that's what we're doing now. This legislation, as it is written, is bad. So we had a meeting, and we're working on the chairman of the House Public Health admits that this is a bad bill. However, we don't know what the governor has promised or said to such and such. So I ain't never been the guy to walk in the room and not have a plan. I might not win with my plan, but at least I'm gonna have a plan. And so I'm leaning on experts who do this every day. We got 4 community health centers that deal with millions, almost $1 billion every year of budget, providing service to our folk. They need to have a seat at the table. They didn't have a seat at the table. We got hospitals around here. Some of them are doing well, some of them are not. But the people who run and govern them, they're the experts. They know how to provide health care. Now, the one thing I will say, when I call her and ask her a question, I get an honest answer, and this is what she tells me she can't answer. I don't know. Let me find an expert who can answer. That's good governance, and that's good leadership. We ain't necessarily always had that. Now we got it. Why would we give up our authority? I'm just saying, it is my belief that if you give up your authority, you'll never get it back. And the way you see healthcare now, gonna get worse. Cause we got folks already driving to Memphis and Jackson. Yep. But when I told, back in 1997, when I tore my shoulder up, I went out right out there to Family Medical Center, Dr. Phyllis Salwar, which was a satellite doctor, once a week from Jackson was coming up here, fixed my shoulder. We can do the same. If they were doing it back in the 90s, technology is a whole lot better. They ain't said, they only thing they're talking about is telehealth medicine. The new program of RPM is a much better program to help people monitor their healthcare circumstances. We can cut down on strokes, diabetes, all this. They ain't talking about none of that. They just want the money. And people are putting, they got a partnership right now to deal with infant mortality and pregnancy and post-traumatic stresses that they doing right now. They ain't had no conversation with these folks.
Right.
It's money flowing that we trying to get to, but these folks want to cut it off.
John, one quick question for you. While the governor was campaigning, he mentioned $780 million that he was going to put into healthcare. Where is that? You know?
That was a question asked at MAS.
But my point is this: it's not a matter of federal dollars coming.
Where is it?
The governor doesn't just get this kind of leeway without already having a plan to finance this thing to make it happen. So don't anybody be shocked or be surprised. Lee.
I think Iris wanted to say something too. She had her hand up.
Yeah, she
I'd
coming
like
up.
to hear
She
from
coming up.
her if she had something to input.
We'll tag team this thing.
No, I just wanted to say that we were told by the Delta Council that probably the second week of this month on down, that they were gonna start coming to hospitals because we too have not been informed of what their analysis came up with.
Okay.
So we were pretty much shocked when we saw the product that no one had come back to discuss with us. We were kind of shocked that they would be able to appoint a authority CEO, and then that CEO could appoint all the other CEOs in the different counties. The board of trustees would be no longer.
Eliminated.
No, they would still have the board, but they would only do, credentialing of doctors, contracts and that kind of stuff, but nothing of any meat that would be taken away. And that, like you said about board of supervisors kind of relinquish their authority. It was very interesting, and I called Sam Oler to ask why did they go that route, and they said they were in a rush to get it out there. But for something that's gonna really, what they had told us is that we're gonna look at all the hospitals in the state, in the Delta, and then come up with one or two would be your regional resource centers, and that not only county hospitals would be involved, but also private hospitals. And in certain areas, those private hospitals might become your regional hospital and downgrade us to maybe a critical access. So you just don't know what their plan
Yeah.
is. And they never come back to tell us what that plan looks like.
Right.
So I've told Representative Hines this before, the concept is good because historically hospitals work against each other. Because we're all trying to get that same dollar, that same patient, that same resource. So we've gotta start learning how to share resources. Like right now, I'm in conversation with one of the hospital police at General Surgery. Well, and I'm also talking about we need OBGYNs. So if I can't afford to have an OBGYN here full time, and they can take them 2 days and I can keep them 3, and we can get that OBGYN to come together, that's what we have to do. But we have not, so they felt like hospitals didn't work together, so they were gonna force us. And the way they were forcing us is dangling money in front of us to say, if you all will work together,
Crumbs.
this is the pot.
Crumbs.
So, but that's how I feel about it. The concept is good. I think a group of us are gonna get together and kind of come up with a counter proposal. I wish they would come and talk to us, and if they do make an appointment with me, I will tell them I would love for my board of trustees and my board of supervisors to be able to be present, and if not, we will not be.
Yeah. The thing about it is, and I agree, that again, what concerns me is I'm lingering on, what do we do if this does go through, and a county does take the position of allowing that? That worries me if we don't do something like that. And I understand what you're saying, and I don't like the thought of, not coming to us, talking to us, or anything. But I see what's happening. I can't help but to look around at other counties and see what's happening in some of the hospitals and stuff. And we've done pretty good by hanging on and doing better. We're inching back. But I would love to hear all. Again, this is all new to me. Right now. And we just basically, other than Friday, when I just briefly discussed it with Carl and John, I would like to just hear more about it. And I'm like you, if they would come talk to us, not to say I'm for it. I'm just saying I like to hear the whole thing. Is all I'm saying.
All right. So I have an opportunity to go down and witness the presentation of the proposal being presented to the joint committee. It was interesting. They actually presented themselves as saying that they had talked with us. They were asked that directly. Who had they talked with? And they mumbled and said, yeah, they had spoken with us, which was not true.
Come on, Washington County.
Yeah.
Any supervisor?
Just in general, just counties in general.
Yeah, but you've got to let me finish, Chris. And, still the question in my mind is, with the governor having this much input or authority and the ability to control this authority, that answers the question about the $780 million. That's what gets them going. They also made a statement that 2 of the major hospitals in the Delta was having trouble making payroll. They made comments like the congressman was on board with this thing. They called Samuel Odell's name, but he wasn't there, and I didn't see his name on any document. So when I got back, I gave the information to the attorney for him to review so I know what was going on. Review it, look at it, and get real close to it, especially in the back when they even get to talking about compensation and different things like that. Had to read it over. But today is the opportunity for you all to hear, ask your questions, understand what's being proposed during this legislative session.
Let me say this. There's an article in Mississippi Today. I don't know how many of you read it.
Everybody should have got it Saturday. Had his picture on it.
From Saturday about this whole concept.
Yeah.
And in that article, 3 counties are identified as having bought into this. Washington County.
Yeah, that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's on that article.
County and Coahoma County. All right. So, that representation has been made. Now, the phone conversation I was on with Mr. Hines yesterday, the congressman was on there, and the congressman said he has not endorsed it. Let's get that clear. Make this perfectly clear.
Is he aware of it?
He became aware of it recently.
Okay.
Okay? But he has not authorized anybody to attach his name to it. All right? And he recommended that local boards of supervisors come together with their healthcare providers and administrators, and develop a plan, a program of, as Carter G. Woodson would say, get together and develop a program of your own.
And Mr. Griffin is exactly right. The congressman had several of us on the phone last night discussing this, and he had not endorsed this. Let me say this before we move on. I took an oath that I deeply believe in. I took an oath when I joined the Army. I took an oath when I got married twice. And I took an oath when I took this job. Well, the first one didn't work out. I reloaded. I reloaded. I believe my oath. And so what I'm saying is, some folk need to be serious about the job that they took an oath for. We have an obligation and a responsibility to look out for those who gave us their voice. And for those individuals who gave me their voice to be disrespected, to be looked over and left out, is an affront to all those who died for me to be here. This is serious.
My mom worked at that hospital for 46 years. I know as much about that hospital as most folk who've been there that and at the time or less. From the chillers and the boilers to the janitors on the floor, I know. I walk through that hospital constantly, talk to everybody, I go see folk, I make sure that it's a viable entity. Because healthcare, the delivery of healthcare in this has turned our community around. And I cannot understand why a group of people would come and say, here, this what y'all gonna do, rather than asking, what do we need to help you with? And the truth of the matter, $16 billion then could have come to this state and healthcare would not look at it. Another 10 to 12,000 jobs could have been created here. Now check this out. Put this in your pipe and smoke. A doctor told me every type of medicine that you have a desire to practice, infectious disease or whatever, works right here in the Mississippi Delta. If you really want to be a doctor and you really want to practice medicine, you got a litany of patients you can work on, and you can do well and good. But if you're trying to do well, good ain't gonna follow you. So if you're just trying to get paid, then practicing medicine what you're supposed to be here for. And so I commit to this board and the individuals here that I'm gonna fight for what's right. Now, I might not win all the time, but I guarantee you, when they go to their corner and look at their wound, they blooded and bowed.
All right. You good, John? John?
All right, the
You
next
good?
thing is,
Any questions on that particular issue with Representative Hines? All right, Ms. Hines?
Supervisor Brooks came to visit Representative Bailey and myself a week or so ago with some recommendations for her district. Which I didn't necessarily disagree with. However, this board told me last year, it moves through its minutes and its resolutions.
Right.
And so, hold on.
Well, we got one for
We
you.
already passed it.
Hold on.
We do.
My concern is we don't have a conversation about projects, and we don't really. I got what y'all got some, but I had a few recommendations I'd like y'all to consider too, like 4-laning all the way out to the airport, because that could be an economic driver for this community. Like making sure that the roads and extra drainage is out there for the port, so we can use that, and to see what other railroad ties that we can become vibrant with, so we can use that as also economic driver. But I wanted to have conversations around that. We hadn't done that. Now there's an economic development meeting that I had to pull teeth to get this Friday, and I think we need to have this conversation. And this is why I'm saying this. Money coming into this state, all of it being planted on the east side of 55. Now they dropped a few buildings on the west side of 55, but it's still in central Mississippi. It's not in the Delta. Now we're gonna benefit from the energy plant being refurbished and rebuilt, but them are temporary jobs. They're not gonna be jobs, and possibly some of those people not even be from our community. We got to develop a plan, y'all. We have to develop a plan for growth. If we don't, there was a guy who came here a few years ago, economic development. He said the best thing that happened to Washington County is they have a few more funerals. And if that's the best thing somebody can say about economic development here, we in trouble. And all of us getting a little long in the tooth. My children, your children, everybody else's children packing up, leaving here and making a decision if they're gonna come back or not. We got to do something. So that's my spiel on that. Now what y'all got for me?
What we going to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think the question was, we were discussing that somewhat when you walked in, but the question was, we were talking about doing that. Do we need to, when we're requesting some of this money, does it need to be reasonable, or we just, when we throw a big number out there, does that hurt us and disqualify us? Because, like Carl said, they can say no, to that. I mean, so are you thinking, or your advice on that would be reasonable, keep it within, to be managed, or either we throw a huge number out there, some things that we know we're probably not going to get. Does that disqualify us in a way?
So what I've seen successful is where engineering specs to it. So for instance, if we were going to, let's just say we're gonna resurface all of Broadway, and the engineering says that it's gonna take $8 million to do the whole project. It comes on a recommendation, on an official letterhead from the county saying, our request for such and such and such for X, Y, and Z. And you have to be plot specific where the money is going to go. Those projects have been very successful. The other thing is, once you have to have a phase system. So our priorities is 1, 2, and 3. The second year our priorities is 3, 4, and 5. Our priorities 6, 7, 8. That gives you an opportunity for long-term planning. Now here's the sad problem, y'all. Y'all getting all this money in South Delta, and they supposed to be doing this, and they ain't doing it. They're supposed to be developing a plan of growth and infrastructure for this county. And if they got it, I ain't seen it. Maybe y'all have. But that's what they're supposed to do. But I ain't, that's a whole nother conversation. If this county has a desire for projects, then y'all need to let Representative Bailey know, Senator Simmons and myself know, so we can then begin to work and try to plot this out. Sometimes you might ask for $10 million and they give you 4. But they'll come back and say the other 6 million we broke down into the next few years in 3-year increments. But they ain't gonna give you nothing
If you don't ask.
No, it ain't about asking. If you don't have that engineering study saying this is what we're gonna do, this is what it's gonna cost, and this is what. Now on the backside of this, if your engineers, Greenville got $4 million to do that road out there from Bowman to VFW. It ain't done yet. Because the engineer been milking the project, taking all the money out of it. Now, if y'all gonna let them folk milk y'all like that, then, hold people accountable. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do. Because they gonna come back and say, well, what's the timetable on this project?
Right.
What's the timetable on this project? What's the time? Have you concluded this? Have you concluded that? And then we gonna be sitting down there like, they watch. They know how much money that came in here and what folks have done with it.
Exactly.
They watch. They know. They know. If you've been given some money, you have not. They send folk down here, engineering and DFA send folk down here to see where y'all at on projects. And because you don't conclude them, when you say this and the folk walk out, well, we gave them $4 million. They ain't done something like that.
You talking about the Colorado?
Yeah, I'm talking about Colorado, but I'm just telling you, it's an issue when people say our community is not working together, not doing what it's supposed to do. It makes it extremely hard to go down and advocate and fight for stuff that we know we're entitled to because we don't hit the delivery system. And it's not an argument. She always coming for something, but the truth of the matter is, it's just a recommendation, but we don't have, if they say, well, where the resolution is. Now, it is my belief, and I'm gonna be quiet. If this county is gonna grow, Arcola's struggling financially, Metcalf's struggling financially, Hollandale's struggling financially, Greenville's struggling financially, Glen Allen's struggling financially. If any growth gonna come in this county, it's gonna have to come through the Board of Supervisors. Now, the Congress gave Sunflower County a truckload of money to help their small community, because some of these communities had no audit. They can't afford to do it. Some of these communities don't have no financial statement. Some of the folk on these boards don't even know how to use the internet. We got problems. And the truth of the matter is, if this county don't stand up and take care of those folk, we're gonna be struggling. We got, as my understanding, we got 2 sites that could be considered mega sites. Why we ain't talking about it?
Now, what are those 2 sites?
One of them is over there in Leland.
Right.
And the other one's out there at the airport.
Now, Leland everybody's talking.
Stokes King.
Yeah.
Now, they are talking about it, Delta Region Economic, DREC, and also Leland is most definitely talking about it. So I can't talk about the other one, but I would like to say one thing. When I came to you, I have 2 projects and they're both shovel ready, okay? One of them is, Forest Acres. We have all our documentation, and also Old Leland Road, just redoing Old Leland Road from Highway 1 all the way to Wasteray Road. So we talked, this board did talk about it. We did pass a resolution, and we will be submitting, but I think you are correct. I think we need to look more at Economic Development Railroad and also the other piece you were looking at. And I think we need to include some of your concerns in our resolution as well.
All right, Lee.
John, you was talking about Colorado. From my understanding, of course, you know, that was a city project more than anything. Now, there was $2 million given to that. Am I wrong about that?
It was 2 million,
Yeah.
and another $1.5 million came behind.
Yeah,
$4 million was a,
But there was supposed to be some money coming from the city and the county to finish that project. That never happened. Yeah, and that's.
I did my part.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just. Because I think that's why it's at a standstill.
To the rest of y'all, I had 2 developers ready to build houses out there.
Yeah.
All they would needed was the road.
Yeah.
They were gonna build houses. So you do know, in any economic development growth model, new rooftop mean the city is growing, right?
Right.
Now, not new apartment complexes,
Yeah.
which we getting plenty of them.
We don't get
That's a
them.
horse of a different.
We don't do
Love
that
that.
either.
We need rooftops so people will know our community is growing. So if we build 10 houses, if we build 20 houses, it says, and I'm not, please don't take it, I'm not talking about subsidized houses. I'm talking about
custom
houses.
homes.
That homes will.
Like we doing in Leland. 'Cause
Right.
We did
Single-family
about
home.
7
Thank you.
already. Single family homes.
Right. When you do that, it sends a message. The only area that was new growth in this community was that area, which now the county owns. We really need to be putting some houses over there so people can see Greenville is live and vibrant. If Greenville grows, Leland grows, Hollandale grows, all the other communities grow, because it's a feeder system. Now y'all can sit there if you want to. They doing all they can to make Cleveland the hub of the Delta. And Washington County been the hub of the Delta ever since I've been on this earth. And you can give your title up if you want to without being beat.
Well, Ms. Hines, I don't know if you know, we do have a program that the county is partnering with Mississippi Home Court, and we have right at $14,000 for down payment assistance. If you're an educator, it's $21,000. We just had a home buyers fair, and I think you can help us promote it as well, because we want people to know we have money here in Washington County to get home buyers throughout our county.
Outstanding.
All right. Anything else for Mr. Representative?
Thank you for
John, as
gracing
always.
us on today.
As always, we appreciate you. We'll stay in
thank you.
touch.
Thank you,
And
man.
tell them the time.
Y'all please get with, so all of us can be on the same page with Ms. Stacker. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
Thank you, man.
Ms. Stacker?
Hello again.
Hey.
Hello.
Just want to give an update on the hospital, and our financial report is positive again this month. For December, we had a positive earnings of $745,000. We have decreased our accounts payable by $420,000. And our cash on hand is at 74.6 days, when it was this time last year, 24. And the reason why it's come down a little bit from last month is because we've been able to pay some more bills.
Right.
We're a little bit more financially stable, able to get us caught up. We used to be, back in September of 22, we were 96 days paying our payables. Now we're at 53. It takes us about 60 days after a patient is discharged to get paid for those services. So we get to about 45 days for our accounts payable, we'll be exactly where we want to be. To give you an update on our grants, we still have 7 FEMA grants pending. Still hadn't heard anything from the federal government. FEMA has not moved them to MEMA yet, so that means that money's not appropriated to the state yet, but they keep telling us that we have at least 3 that's going down the pipe, so we should see some movement on that soon. We have also been chosen for and this is a long name, the Delta Regional Community Health Systems Development Grant. It's a $750,000 grant for over 3 years. And it'll help us in all areas, operational, clinical, financial management, and then, plant. So we could ask, they told us to just ask for our heart's desires. They're teaching us how to be more financially sound, how to operate a hospital better. They're bringing in consultants, all at their expense, to strengthen the knowledge base of my department heads, my senior leadership team, so that we can do a better job for the Washington County. So we're really looking forward to that. And it is a heavy-hitting grant. I mean, they have the CEO at meetings almost every other week, educational, informational, but really getting us to the point, it's not just something that you can say, okay, I take the money and I won't make a difference. They ensure that this grant will make a difference for our hospital, so I'm really excited about that. We are looking at applying for a HRSA Rural Residency Planning Grant. As you know, we have a family medicine program, and you also know that we have a deficit in OBGYNs in Washington County. So this will be like when my dad was a doctor, the family practice physician would be able to monitor that OB and take care of her child and help her and do a lot of prenatal and postnatal care, and they would be trained for that. We're trying to do that in conjunction with South Sunflower County Hospital and Delta Health Center. So we're looking forward to seeing if that comes into fruition, and I will keep you updated on that. We are still working on that Rules Moms grant to make sure that people that are identified in the emergency room are followed when they're found out that they're pregnant, and ensure that they get the appropriate care. So once again, we can decrease infant mortality in Washington County. And I know you'll be glad to hear that this month we will be presenting our audit to our board, and then after that we will submit it to you guys. So our audit will be ready on time this year. So I know that's, it's a relief for me. So I know you all will be happy for that. February 1, we totally transferred the lease to Northwest in Cahoma County. So we are no longer tied to them as far as legally in the lease part of it. They still need some of our services probably until July, and we're coming up with an agreement for that, a document that we're going to discuss today at 2. And hopefully, if we get some extra money in, we can kind of get rid of some of those payments we have to make and maybe get it done before February of 2025. We're in a CNO search. Our chief nursing officer resigned in January. We are in the process of looking for another one. Yes, Amy's gone. And we will hopefully.
Where's she gone?
She went to
Brookhaven, didn't she?
Brookhaven, yeah. King's Daughters in Brookhaven. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She gone to OCO.
Okay, there you go. And so
I
we
get
hope,
calls.
so we hope to have that search completed by the end of this month and have somebody named. And so I think that's all I have. If you have any questions for me.
Question? Questions for Ms. Stacker? We appreciate you here.
All right,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you all.
See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing, Ms. Fulton?
All right, you all.
I'm good. Thanks for coming.
Thank y'all.
Any other additions? Am I missing anyone in the audience? Any other addition? Oh, okay. All right, we actually have a contract opening on the agenda. Huh? We're gonna get it. Okay. Yeah. It's passed in, we good. You ready? You wanna hold a second? All right, now, let me ask the board this. This is a new contract for transport, composed and decomposed bodies. And how involved should the coroner be in this decision? Normally we get bids or proposals, do we open them and then we turn them over to the sheriff department, have them take a look at them and do the examination or what? Okay.
Read the report out, right?
All right,
Just
but,
turn them over to the attorney.
okay, but yet and still, that person need to have input. Go ahead, open them, announce.
You have two bids, one from Mortimer Funeral Home and one from Harris Funeral Home.
Okay,
I have to put the publication here.
make sure it was published. All right. Give me a motion to accept.
moved.
Proof of, okay, got a motion?
Move to accept.
And I got a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? That motion carries, so Supervisor Gordon, wait for the seat. We good? Keep moving. Go ahead.
Harris Funeral Home, 950 round trip. That's the decomposed, non-decomposed, 700 round trip. Removal of non-decomposed and hold up to 48 hours, $450. Removal of decomposed and hold up to 48 hours, $625. Pick up and hold at the funeral home, non-decomposed, 48 hours, $350. At Harris, Brown, and Marion Funeral Home. Mortimer Funeral Home. Transport services. Identification of the body ordered by Washington County Coroner, $300. Removal and storage of decomposed body for first 48 hours, $450. Removal and storage of non-decomposed body, $350. Storage of body over 48 hours, $50 per day. Transport decomposed body for autopsy, $750. And transport non-decomposed body for autopsy, $650.
Okay.
He didn't say anything about round trip decomposed or round trip, we didn't get no bid on that.
The round trip.
I mean, that's what the other one said. No, that right there was for autopsy. I'm talking about,
What was
other
it?
one gave the bid for round
See
trip.
what the request was.
What Harris did was.
Let's see what the advertisement was. What they require.
Here is the.
Accept the bids and turn it
Each
over
item.
Receive bids and turn them over
to the
the coroner.
attorney.
for tabulation.
To who?
Right, corn. Corn.
You or the coroner? I move that we accept the bids and turn the tabulations over to the coroner and the board attorney.
I need a second. I need a second.
I'm gonna abstain just because I didn't hear all the conversation.
All right.
Now, I
got
made a motion to accept the bids, to receive the bids and turn it over to the coroner and the board attorney.
For
Really
tabulation.
not doing
anything, just
No,
like-
for tabulation.
Gotcha.
Once they do the tabulation, they'll come back. Got a motion and a second. If there are no other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. There's nothing else. Ms. Carter, you ready?
Good morning.
It's almost lunchtime. Go ahead.
Okay, we have expended 33.4% of our budget through February 5th compared to plan of 41.66%. Total receipts deposited January 12th through 31st, total $5,438,257.99. I am requesting board approval of our claims docket totaling $482,994.97.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Questions? All in favor of the motion, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Smith is requesting payment in the amount of $3,333.33 for admin and consultant services for the American Rescue Plan Act funds for the month of February 2024.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second. All right. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
That's number 4-1.
Requesting payment in the amount of $2,500 to Andrew L. Smith for monthly grant consulting services for the month of February 2024.
Questions, comments, motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Got one nay. Motion carries.
Requesting travel for county officials to attend the MASMC 2024 Annual Educational Conference on April 8th through the 13th in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $5,000, with permission to use the county credit card.
So moved.
So moved.
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show a sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? How many are going, Ms. Carter?
I'm going.
One,
Possibly two.
possibly two.
All right. Did I carry that motion?
No.
Motion carried.
All in favor, show a sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I did carry it. I'm sorry. Ms. Carter, sorry about that.
Okay, the Fourth Circuit Intervention Court is requesting approval and payment of $199 for their annual renewal of their DENS ASI software that they use for their drug court program, and it comes from their grant fund.
Motion? And a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous.
Judge Renita Johnson is requesting use of the Washington County Convention Center on February 22nd, with fees waived for their parent-child workshop that's scheduled from 5:30 p.m. to 6:45 p.m.
Motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Probably moving to second. I'm pretty sure she's made sure the facility is available.
Right.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Approval of Sansom Equipment Company as the lowest reverse auction bidder for our new garbage truck in the amount of $292,500. And with approval of the lowest financing from CBNS Bank at 4.73 interest rate for 36 months.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Point of
Motion.
how many bidders did we have in that bid?
3 companies. I want to say the highest was 360 something.
Motion carries.
Approval of Thompson Machinery as the only reverse auction bidder for our new asphalt paver machine in the amount of $402,983, and with approval of the lowest financing from CBNS Bank at a 4.73 interest rate for 60 months.
So moved.
Got
Second.
a motion and a second. Question. Why aren't we paying for this out of the tax revenue, whatever that thing was?
You can't use
can't
it to buy equipment.
Remember, we would've done it
You remember
before
that? Yeah.
July, we could have, but we waited late.
All right, but I'm not even asking about a new sweeper here.
No.
Go ahead, Lee, I'm
What
sorry.
about, you may not know this, what about delivery time on both of these
Lead
pieces of
time.
equipment?
From what Mark told me, the garbage truck may be a month out, and the asphalt paver, I wanna say they have that on hand.
Okay, good deal.
That's my only company that had it. Motion carried?
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
My stuff.
Okay, Supervisor Brooks is requesting, travel for the U.S. Drone Soccer event to be held on Saturday, February 17th at 9 a.m. Is this in Virginia?
It's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, I just thought it was.
What it is, I talked to Judge Johnson about this. What it is, it's a drone soccer program. What they do is, and actually it's in probably about 20 states. They are teaching young people to create their own drones, how to man the drones, and to, you know, dial it, you know, doing. But the thing I'm so proud with, they are teaching young people how to make drones. I think that'd be ideal for the STEM system, you know, STEM with our kids. I would like, and I talked to Judge Johnson about possibly putting something like that in our detention center to help mobilize brains. And also I'm looking to put one in Leland as well. I usually use my DAPA dollars for that. If we do it, we will be the first city in the state of Mississippi to have a soccer drone program in Mississippi. So I'm asking for myself and someone from Judge Johnson's office to attend their first tournament in Birmingham. It's a one-day. You go. It's on Saturday morning on February 17th. I'm just asking for travel for that.
So it's a soccer
It's soccer zone, like a drone. You know, the drone they're using to look. What they're doing is they're teaching young people on how to create their own drones to keep them up. And so now it is a national soccer drone group. They got it in California where they're having their tournament in Birmingham, Alabama, and I want her to see it, because what we have to do is look at, you know, if we go that far, what will be needed, what's the process, because it's all relatively new, and I would love to have something like
So
this.
it's in Birmingham, they're doing this in Birmingham?
They're doing this on Birmingham on February the 17th, and I'm asking for travel to that to see
How
more
much?
about it. And all I'm doing, just hotel, and for me and one person, or whoever's gonna come from the,
How much?
I guess.
Uh,
This here is free. This right here is free. We just need travel.
You need lodging and travel.
Lodging and travel.
We need a number for the records.
When is it supposed to?
February 17th. It's for anybody who want to go on the board to see it if you want to see it anyway. But I know I would like to go, and I did talk to Judge Johnson about someone from my office as well. I guess hotel is $200
Oh, no, it
a
ain't.
night.
Birmingham.
We have that.
No more than 1,000.
No more, yeah. Some move for travel.
Your board good with that?
Yes.
All right. I got a motion, need a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
And
Motion
you'll come back
carries.
and just kind of tell us.
Yeah.
And some information on it.
What else you got, Ms. Carter?
We didn't,
That's it.
we didn't go to that with them. We had this, once or twice a month at the Mother Day. Youth flying, the home, Superintendent Johnson got about 30 some kids involved.
Really?
Oh, really?
All right,
Well, this is for the
youth court.
Youth court.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, okay.
Youth court, I'm surprised, no matter, $1,000 would be good. We'll have to make sure that, there's money allocated to make sure this program happens. Ms. Bernadine, you ready? We're ready for you, go ahead. You got something for us?
I just have, documents to copy
Okay.
into the minutes.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion, after we do the sheriff report, we're gonna put them in.
Copy, accept reports from the county department.
Okay, we'll get those.
I'd also like to, ask the board to, I submitted to the board attorney the petition for the elected position for his review.
What is that?
We already approved it in.
Petition?
Petition for, those petitions that we accepted in our office.
All right, y'all get that together and let us know.
Submitted them to the attorney.
But you talking about the petition for
Yes, sir.
the election commission?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the one that Jackie gave us, Ms. Thompson?
Didn't we vote on that earlier for you to?
Yeah.
Well, I let them-
Okay, yeah,
All right.
we did that. already, yeah.
All right, Chief,
Morning.
okay.
The meter log for January 6, 2024 to January 26, 2024 is in the amount of $7,440 plus $7,416. So it's basically $15,000.
All right,
So move to accept.
got a motion
Second.
and a second. Questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, the sheriff is requesting,
to purchase 4 patrol vehicles at the amount of $47,200 and 2 of the admin for $46,500, to total of 6 vehicles. My understanding, I think it was budgeted for $250,000 for 225. 225.
2.2. 200, okay.
And after checking with with our administrator, there was additional $68,268 came from insurance from January 1 of last year up until this time.
Okay, so that knocks it down.
Yes, sir. That should cover it.
All right, any questions, comments, motion?
So moved.
And a second.
board meeting, you adjourned.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. No other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, I'm just asking about the roof, where we're with the roof on the building, North Harvey Street. I know we did, you all requested for one person to look at it the last meeting we had, but there was something that's already on the table for the other guy to do it, so I don't. Mr. Griffin, you got anything to add to that?
I think we need to just rescind the, order from the last meeting. There was a mistake, and according to Mr. Smith, he had, in December,
Come, Ms. Smith.
the low bidder in December had, informed him at the latter part of December that, they were going to accept the bid without requiring any advance. So I recommend that you rescind the bid that was accepted at the last meeting.
Good enough.
Approve the low bidder, which was done, it was already taken subject to, getting clarity from the bidder that he would
All right.
not require anything.
All right, anything you want to share with us, Ms. Smith?
No, sir. I mean, it was, you all approved,
And that,
the
okay.
sheriff's department presented 2 bids on December 15, I believe. You all, there was one bid, I believe it was $38,000, and one that was higher. You all accepted the lowest bid with the condition that
No upfront.
they provide you all with warranty information, and if they would accept a lump sum payment once the project was completed. They sent, I've communicated that to Crossroads Roofing, I think, is it Crossroads Roofing?
Yeah, I think that is.
Okay, I think that's the name of it. But I communicated that to them, and they sent the information. Mr. Griffin probably, it was a holiday, so we were all having fun. And,
It went to
it went to spam. Yeah.
mail.
All right,
My email to him providing those documents and clarity went to spam, and we eventually found it. But in the interim, you all approved the higher.
of the others.
So
Because
it-
because they wanted a payment up front is the reason we went with a high.
Well, it was,
That is the warranty.
the warranty.
Right.
But
So we
they-
cleared all that up.
Right, everything is in order, everything is in order. His recommendation to rescind that clears up everything.
Make a motion, rescind I guess we need to do two different things.
Second.
Rescind that, motion.
I got a motion to rescind, I got a second to rescind. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second motion to just approve the,
Lowest bid.
lowest bid with the warranties and.
With the adjustments.
No.
We've already done.
That was the,
All right, anything else, Chief?
just need to get the contract and execute the contract.
All right, how soon can we make that happen?
This Griffin has all the terms for the contract, so.
All right,
Normally the bidders submit their own contract. When we draft the contract,
you say you have it.
no, there is no contract. He didn't have a contract.
I will contact Crossroads Roofing today and try to have something in the county administrator or the clerk's office for your signature.
All right, pending receipt of contract, I need a motion to go ahead and approve signature.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, properly moved second. Any questions? Mr. Griffin?
I have a couple of them.
On this, let me carry. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Chief? You want him while he up there?
So pending the contract and all that, then
We
the
gonna
guy can get
send-
started, right?
We'll have to get a timeline, yeah.
Okay.
We'll let him proceed.
Okay, well, I got a question. The sheriff, and I went to Jackson and spoke with the commissioner and his folks. And we do have a guy who's interested in starting up a training at the facility with a forklift. He's going to provide the forklift. We're going to have some inmates that will be getting certified in forklift training, and all we have to do is purchase the diesel. And I guess the question is, as far as the insurance, would the insurance cover, or how would we work it out there?
I had a question. Would it be a fee for him to do that?
Well, the only fee is that we purchase the diesel for the forklift. They're gonna provide the forklift.
Okay.
Once the forklift is added to our insurance,
Wait. Is there a contract with, why are we gonna add to our insurance?
because they are, when you say provide, they are giving the forklift to the county, correct?
They're going to, the forklift will be at the county's disposal. I mean, we use it at the facility.
Are they donating, or are they gonna retain ownership?
Well, they're gonna retain ownership. I don't think they're gonna give it to us. It's
But I
just
think
to,
they need to be a usage agreement.
Okay.
To protect this county.
Right.
And we, but then add it to, because of the usage agreement, we can add it to our insurance.
Well, if we indemnify through the agreement,
You know?
talk to them.
I know the state of Mississippi, they ain't gonna do too more.
well, I'll tell you what I do. If this will help the matter in it, then I would speak with him and see how he doing it with other counties, and if there's an agreement, then I just bring it back to the board.
We want to try to make sure that we get this project going again, so we can move inmates, and so they can come out.
Right.
And be able to get a job when they come out.
Okay.
Do we just need to
And,
prove
we
it?
get there fighting them by the insurance, so we might lose it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the insurance ain't cost much, but we'll find out exactly what we need to do and bring back the report.
I
Y'all
just
ready to
think
go?
we go move forward on a use agreement, so we can expedite.
I move forward, we go forward with a use agreement.
I got a motion to go forward with the use agreement. You wanna include any indemnification in there?
You put it in there, but they gonna take it out.
Understand? I need a second. Got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? A motion carries. All right.
I have a question.
Come
Where are we with trying to get the inmates to help with the cleanup?
It's good on the table. We talked about it down there, down in Jackson, last week, before last week down there. It's more trying to get enough people in there for supervising the inmates to get them out. But they did bring them back up. And there's some type of feed in there from MDOC. And they're talking about it now. They're gonna take it over there to the committee, over there to the senator, next week when it's down there.
So are they just hand picking what counties? Cause I was in Rankin County, I see they still have inmates out picking up paper.
They had that, joint,
That's because they got the satellite. Our satellite is taken out of Washington County.
that would happen there when they killed out,
That was it.
killed
The community work center.
They killed them.
Excuse me. All right.
But
And,
we're still working on it, trying to get this out.
Do they have one in Kemper County as well? Cause they have inmates picking up paper there too.
They might do.
I mean, I talked to quite a few counties that have prisons picking up
But
paper.
we don't have it, we don't have the access at this time to put the inmates out on there. That's what we got to get. We got to get that clear before we can do it.
All right, any,
Is there anything that we can do to assist with
We
that?
already into it. I mean, we're
Okay.
in the meeting. There's several counties that's trying to get to. We just have to get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Need a motion?
Have to have the people here that's gonna be, turn them over to the municipality. Gotta make sure that they're being supervised and everything.
Well, I know Leland is ready, cause we did have a company meeting about that.
Need a motion to copy all reports and documents into the minutes? Got a motion?
Make it
And a
its
second.
own county.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Now, hey,
Mr. McGee,
hey,
I need a point of clarity on 2 items. You all passed, did you all take action on the resolution for the legislature?
yeah, we
Yes.
voted to allow you to put it together.
Okay, just
We
wanted
got
to make, Mr. Griffin mentioned that in the cloakroom over, but I just wanted clarity. The other thing is, on this contract between Crossroads and the county, I need the terms and I've got what Crossroads. Do you have the general terms or the format that you, or does it need to come to you? I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
All right. All right. Let me run something by you all. We talked about the other day, the lease agreement on the 172 acres south of town that had expired back in November.
Talking about Colorado.
Yeah.
The DRC property.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't gotten it into the paper, we haven't communicated, and what needs to happen at this point in time is the board to go ahead and extend an offer to the current leaseholder to extend 1 year. And that means it'll expire this coming November. We'll have an opportunity to re-advertise to take care of that business at that
So
time.
moved.
I got a motion to approve and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Petition. Can't hear you.
The election commission petition, you have, subject to, any election challenge, the petitions of
Okay,
the election commissioner,
the challenge.
Terrell Blue.
Wait a minute.
Terrell.
Now, what is this you have? Their petition.
These are petitions,
So people qualified to run for election commission.
qualifying petitions,
All right, so they've been verified that they're good. There are no issues with them.
not necessarily, I didn't say that.
That's what they're challenging.
They subject to challenge.
All right, everybody understand?
Yeah. Another one is Jacqueline Thompson, Rhoda Sturtevant, and Ms. Ball, and Naomi Curtis, and Michael Alterman.
So moved to accept all
I got a
five.
mo-
Accepting them.
Receive.
Receive. Second.
I got a motion to receive, a motion and a second. There are no questions. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Are we missing something?
Yes,
We're missing?
I got,
We are.
yes.
I'm sorry, Jay.
I have a note from my alderman from Hollandale wants to know about the old health department property next to the building there that the state owns. That attorney's supposed to take care of.
Right. I think the new one, response from the Secretary of State.
Tell them that I want it, that I'll
Yes.
make a difference.
I'm good. Okay.
No, don't laugh, please.
The sheriff
If you
chief
laugh, I'm
wants-
gonna laugh.
No, because the sheriff.
That's a
chief
heck of a
wants-
joke.
I mean, the other.
We've taken care of everybody. Lee?
Yeah, I do have, I guess the attorney would respond to this. We've done it before, but it's been a while. Abandoning a road, Trailer Park Road, it's just right there off Riverside Road, connects in with, Possum Ridge Road, the same land on both sides, no houses, nothing. We don't ever do anything with it, but he's requesting that it be abandoned and again, no houses or nothing, and, it's just mostly a dirt road, but,
Yeah, but I
what's
think
the
it's a
process?
bridge out on it.
Well,
I think it's a little bridge out on it
Down
too.
on the road recently by the county. See, where the statute says that if you've done work on it within the past 10 years, you cannot abandon it.
I don't know of any. I've had no request on it, let me say that,
They know
So-
since I've been here.
What you need to do is, give public notice of intent to abandon and publish it in the newspaper.
That's what I thought.
And then you can proceed with no one, if there are no objections. And if there are objections, then we entertain those, and set it at a board meeting, and we entertain those objections.
Okay, make a motion that we move forward and advertise for the abandonment of, Trailer Park Road off of, Riverside Road, connection Riverside Road and, I think Possum Ridge Road. And, so that'd be the next step, just advertising, okay. And how long do we have to
You
advertise?
can advertise one time.
Okay, and then we have to, how many days, how long before we have the
I
public
know
hearing?
normally y'all advertise 3 times.
Yeah,
I think you
yeah.
waste some money.
But how long before we have the
But don't we
public
have to
hearing?
legally do that?
You have to legally advertise at least one time.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
We spend a lot of money on advertising, we don't have to.
Well, that's all right, we do the right thing, because we don't want nobody to say they didn't know. Just be-
That's right, yeah.
Just be consistent what we've been doing.
And let me tell you why I say that. The law says that you can, for instance, you can advertise the material terms of a particular item of business you conducted and not the whole, not the details of it. And notice that it's on file with the change of place law. save a lot of money if we start doing it. Now, I'm just, y'all can do it however you want to, and I noticed that, but, you know, when you do these broad advertising, these newspapers make a ton of money. But the law says you can advertise the material term and indicate that it's on file with the chancery clerk. Now, one final thing, Mr. President, we need to set a date certain to hear the protest filed by Ms. Thompson.
How, 14 days out, can we do it at the next meeting? How long is it gonna be?
So we need to do it within, you gotta do that within 10 days.
Within 10 days.
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay.
So I would say this coming Friday.
But don't you got to
We got
advertise,
something
then you
Friday.
say you gotta get the board, the people that
You gotta
thing
give the
today?
other person notice.
You said
So
3
we
days,
need-
didn't you?
3 days, at least.
Today is Monday, I think we need to go to the next week to only be fair.
Go to Monday,
I'm good Monday.
That's the 12th.
but you can't go to the next board meeting.
Okay, that's gonna be the 12th,
So
10
moved Monday at
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Everybody good? Right here.
So what,
They got a
Okay.
chance to rebuttal, you know, against that,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, hearing.
yes, roll call?
No, the date is going to be the 12th.
This is on
The 12th.
the election commission, the people that.
Oh.
No, we're having a special call meeting and a hearing on the 12th
Yeah, we'll have
to hear. the-
Okay.
Okay. And now we have to make sure we serve notice to each individual.
Okay.
And that, we're gonna have to make a request to the sheriff department to take care of that,
I
serving
got a question, so in the
notifications.
past, I'm just asking, like, if you're gonna challenge somebody, normally it's up to the candidate to get it to the person they're contesting. So the election commission is totally different now?
No,
It comes to us
no,
with
it's not up to the candidates. It's when you do, when you do, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about ballot box examination. Ballot box examinations are different, okay? When this board set one, or when the election commission is setting one, they have to make certain that person is actually served as a candidate. Ballot box examination, the candidates are required to make certain that they do it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if a person is challenging, if a contestant is challenging another candidate, normally that person is required to let them know. Am I correct?
If it's in court, yes.
Okay.
This is not court.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
You got a question?
We finna roll on out of here. I can't hear you. Newspaper deadline Thursday.
Can we get it in Leland Progress?
Next week?
We can get it in Leland Progress,
Monday
can
is
we?
next week.
Huh?
Monday is
I
next
mean,
week.
right.
No, you don't have to serve this. This is not to be served on the person you're talking about.
I thought you were talking about where we had to advertise. Where we had to advertise with Andrew.
She's talking about the advertising, and we're talking about this hearing, you don't have to publish that in the newspaper.
All right, y'all, all right, everybody good?
Are you talking about what Andrew is advertising? Are you saying we don't have enough time to get his advertising in the paper?
Any publication you need to communicate to the entire community. Is it necessary? When's is the
Talking
deadline?
road abandonment, correct?
In the advertising. And so if we get it, when?
Thursday.
Yes, sir.
For the next Wednesday paper?
You have to have your information to the newspaper on Thursday for it to be in the following Wednesday paper.
So you can have it by Thursday, can't you? I mean, what Lee's talking, what Mr. Gordon is talking about, what Mr. Smith is talking about, you should have it by Thursday, am I correct?
Should have.
No, it's once a week.
And
All right,
mine's not
yeah.
necessarily timed, so if it goes to the next one, that's fine.
All right, y'all get
Can you have
clarification. now.
information to it before Thursday, Mr. The advertisement for the housing thing, you know, the little project we doing, having the convention center.
I just need to call them. Ms. Carter has already submitted that. You all were copied on it.
I
Okay.
do have an issue with that.
It-
I was just explaining the time frame.
Okay, good enough.
Now I'm just making sure we got it in enough prime
All
time
right,
so it
we
can be in the
good.
paper.
You good, Lee?
Yeah.
Tommy? Ms. Brooks?
Yes, I like to talk about this month is Black History Month. And I just like to pay homage to African Americans across Washington County, United States of America, and the world. And also, I'm gonna recommend a movie that I watched about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a sore throat. And it's on Netflix, and it's called, let me go back, I just Googled it, y'all. But it was a tear jerker, but it's a reality of when we really work together and set aside, you know, racial concerns, even though we may not realize we may be having some racial concerns. But very good movie. I'm gonna tell you, the movie is called, get a screenshot. The Best of Enemies, and it has Taraji P. Henson in it and Sam Rockwell. So I recommend to everybody on Facebook and that's listening to me, please check The Best of Enemies. One of the movies you may want to watch during Black History Month. Thank you. I've had it since Wednesday, and guess what? I've been tested for COVID, and I don't have it. I got a shot this morning for strep throat. Anything else?
All I'm asking for is a lot of prayer. Start in this room right here and go across the middle, because we in trouble.
I agree.
All right.
And
Hey, Shay.
I overheard something came out of somebody, sheriff department serving something, or doing something with it. There was no sign.
No, to Mr. Alter, Mary, and Mr. Blue, located, once, we get it organized, you know, I've asked Ms. Thompson to get an amended, plea, because it's not detailed enough, okay?
Well, I didn't hear that part. You said amended. You just said that
All right,
to us. That
y'all,
didn't take place
Sheriff
with
just
me.
needs some clarification. All right.
Well, that's what she submitted. That's
My
how she
God.
submitted. She should be adding on.
All right, let me do this.
You doing it on your
Hey.
own.
Just real quick.
Come on.
Mr. Redmond didn't mention, and Mrs.
That's not
Brooks
statute,
reminded
that's
me when
that's
she
no
mentioned
opinion.
Black
That's
History
really, I
Month.
read, that's no opinion.
There's a
That's not statute.
program at South Washington County multipurpose facility on Sunday, February 25th at 3 o'clock. And that's the Black History program that Supervisor Redmond does every year.
And what day is that?
Sunday, February 25th at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
All right. Make sure you pay your fees for the building now, Jerry. All right. Let me, no, you didn't. As taxpayer dollars. All right, y'all, let me wrap this up. Now, had a presentation the other day from Upchurch Services, and it has to do with possible savings and infrastructure savings. It's a financial thing. So we need to set up a meeting to actually have, I guess, our financial group to review this. And if y'all think it's needed, we'll bring it in, bring them in to have a further review to the board, a presentation. And it's generating savings, whether you pick the facility as the convention center, this building, or whatever. It puts me in the mind of a system that we know too well, Lee. Yeah. But you all look at it, see if it's worth it, us pursuing it, and let us know, and we'll decide. Hey.
Well, you're speaking on Upchurch, and I said it to our maintenance men, and I said it to Jeremy. Upchurch do a lot of work out there at the Crescent, so a lot of time ago, when they come back, they order their own part. And I told them that we need to make sure that we're looking at these payments to see if they're charging us for coming back because they're ordering their own parts. It happened several times with them, so we need to be looking at these invoices and see if they continue charging us for something they did wrong.
Okay. Ms. Carter, how we review that and make sure we're good? What we need to put in place?
I have to get with Jeremy.
All right. Kind of give us an update at the next meeting, if you would. Give us an update at the next meeting, if you would. There was a request from Boots to Beyond to actually leave a forklift at the convention center on county property. That's going to be theirs. They wonder if they could store it anytime, you know, we need to use it, we could use it. Same situation. And the board needs to decide whether they actually want that forklift, will allow that, which we can't store other people's property. I just need to make sure that I'm not saying one thing and some other board member saying something
I got a
else.
question. How often do they give food away there? Do they do it every month? or
Every couple of months or so.
what? So they do about 6 times a year?
Yeah.
Or more?
I don't know nobody gonna complain about it, that way they be lining up out there all the way to 82.
I think, we may wanna work with them, cause they do give out a lot of food in our county and maybe try to assist. I don't have a problem with it staying there.
Yeah, but Mr. Attorney, from the exposure perspective.
One, if it's stolen,
There he is right there.
If it's stolen, we'll
if
find
it's
it.
damaged, that's a problem. If somebody,
It's gonna
get hurt on it, trying to steal it, that may be a problem. And you assume the responsibility for someone else's property, plus, because it's private property, really, illegal to store it, and the other thing.
Even with a waiver signed on all that, it's still.
Tell them bring
Law says, not assume responsibility for
He do stuff for everybody else.
property stored on the premises.
Yeah. We've had a number of requests, people have asked to store stuff, and some have slipped and did it, but, it's not something.
Well, we can just slip and do this since they really doing something for our community.
You don't matter of public record. You're out here now.
If it's slipping and going,
Yeah. All right. We got the Zapponi, dunk. All right, now, we're gonna recess until Monday morning at 10 a.m., which is gonna be the 12th. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct? Everybody good? All right.
yeah.
All right, if you have somebody give me a motion to recess until 10 a.m. on the 12th. All right, come on. I'm sorry, I should have
No,
asked.
that's fine. I didn't want to interrupt. The Tafford, where you guys approved the $200,000 to go for Tafford, the emergency.
Yeah.
Tafford, yeah. About 3 board meetings ago, you guys had a problem with transparency on their financial records. You in fact said, they're a for-profit company, and now they're raising a white flag, asking for money. You guys approved it. Now, did you guys ever get any paperwork
No.
showing? No clarification?
No, nothing.
Okay. The fines collected, you got no fine workers this time, but I didn't get a number on the fines collected. Is that private information?
Oh, absolutely not. We'll give you a copy of the report.
I'd love to have it.
You got yours, Lee? The Justice Court report.
Lastly, and this question might just be from my own ignorance, but couldn't you mandate like a sales tax, a 1-cent sales tax countywide to cover this quicker? The criminal, the crime meeting?
Let me do this real quick.
I'll get out of your way.
No, you're good. Don't move.
Okay.
But this is a matter of public safety, and the citizens should have input.
I understand that completely.
But the
I
answer to
mean-
your question is you can, but no.
Okay.
But thank you for bringing it to my attention. It's something
Sure.
for us to look
Well,
at.
I mean, you guys were talking about you won't even see a dime until January of next year, I mean, and the sales tax will generate quicker, if not
Yeah,
after the.
but
after
but keep
public-
one thing in mind. This issue about retention
Mhm.
is something we see coming, and we're planning going forward.
Mhm.
We're planning going forward.
Sure.
And if you look at the time that we'll receive that revenue, we want this county to be in a better position to compete with other surrounding counties who are
Totally
drawing our
understand where
talent.
you guys are coming from. I was at that meeting, I heard everything you said when you
Okay.
stood up.
But-
Yeah, no, so you're looking for creative ways to get the competitive wages for your sheriff's department without a tax hike, is that right?
Well, that's an option as well. Finance Committee is commenting on that one,
And is that gonna be part of what happens on the 12th? Is it part of that meeting, or is that?
When?
The 12th, at 10 a.m.
No.
Next Monday, that's
No.
not part of that.
No, that's about the election commission's race.
I'm sorry, Lee.
That's all I had, thank you.
All right, is there anyone else? Hey,
Hey, yeah, briefly, just.
give us your name, just tell us who you are for the record.
I'm Jernigan, Jarvis Jernigan, one of the governing bodies of the city of Holiday. And, I'm here basically just to glean. And, otherwise, other than that, thank you, Washington County Board of Supervisors in its entirety for what you have done, are doing, and plan to do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Appreciate you. All right, I got a motion and a second for an adjournment and a recess until the 12th at 10 a.m.
So moved.
Didn't we not recognize this?
All in favor, show a sign of aye.